From the strands of the street and sand in Bahrain to the high-rises of Shanghai, welcome along to the Shanghai International Circuit for Round 2 of the realistic tier of the Breakout Racing League Season 7 campaign and the Chinese Grand Prix. Well then, Shanghai then, it is the world's largest city by population of 24 million people. We're not quite going to calculate those numbers here tonight, but however, the crowds are ready for BRL racing in China. These numbers are helped by the fact that China is the third largest country in the world by land area. We'll see how big these drivers will have to use of that land area in the Shanghai International Circuit. Enough about the setting. Let's talk about the track then. Shanghai is a 5.5 kilometer, 3.5 mile track with 16 corners, 7 to the left and 9 to the right, with the longest back straight in Formula 1 at 1.209 kilometers. This will be the prime setting for overtaking, especially with the helping of the drag reduction system, the DRS, going into turns 14 and the turn 1. To clip the 5.5 kilometer circuit, the drivers will have the C4, C3, and C2 tire, with the C4 being the soft Rrd Bull tire, the C3 being the medium yellow wool tire, and the C2 being the hard white wool tire. And the drivers will have to not only choose which one will suit them the best, but will last the longest and be the fastest during that duration. A week ago in Bahrain, the drivers hit the ground running, but no one did more than the AlphaTauri team, finishing 4th and 6th, respectively, landing themselves in the 2nd place in the Constructors' Championship, only behind the sister team of Rrd Bull Racing. Speaking of Rrd Bull, themselves and Haas have signed a new driver for this week. Let's see how that plays out for them in the coming rounds, especially through the Chinese Grand Prix here in Round 2. Let's give you an update on the championship and the drivers right now. MewMew in the Rrd Bull with his win a week ago in Bahrain. He leads over Deerhunter in the Mercedes, Cookie in the Ferrari, Bailey and Minico in the AlphaTauri and the Aston Martin, respectively. Taylor in the other AlphaTauri, Natona in the other Aston Martin. It is an AlphaTauri Aston pairing back-to-back with tweaking in the Haas, with a great surprise finish for him and the Haas team. Some great points necessary. Larson fan in the Alfa Romeo with KP21 and the Williams running out the top 10. In the Constructors' Championship, Rrd Bull, like I said, leads AlphaTauri. It is a Honda 1-2 with Mercedes P3. Ferrari ahead of Aston by 1 point. McLaren with a little bit of a less of a showing at Bahrain than they really wanted to, with Haas, Alfa Romeo leading out the drivers and the teams with points, with Williams and Alpine yet to score a point in 9th and 10th, respectively. My name is Haycatcher, and I am alongside no one this week. I am actually alone for the realistic tier and here to stay. Hopefully, if it all plays out, we should have someone joining down in the coming rounds. But for now, it is just me, and don't mind my voice. I may be coming down with things, but we'll figure that one out for ourselves. But one crucial thing, like I said, some of these drivers are going to be driving China for the first time on this game, as it is not in the 2021 calendar. It was actually one of the drivers, or one of the tracks, that were not on it due to the coronavirus pandemic still kind of lingering over. We'll have to see how that plays out. VRA John is going to be the first one across the line, but he's not. He's going to actually box himself and get him out of harm's way. I believe the next one may be Carbon. No, it's not. It is another red-powered car. I believe it is going to be Bosscookie starting a flying lap in the Ferrari. Well, let's see here. Going through the final sector, yellow flag. Looks like that may be Larson fan getting out of the way. No, he actually has stopped off circuit, the exit of turn 14 into 15 now, letting some drivers back through. Carbon sets a 36.761 as provisional pole, but tweaking in the Haas goes faster, but not as quick as Zig Sarbers did, and the Alpine 34.673 for the Alpine. Like I said, Alpine is going to need a good weekend so far. I mean, with being 10th in the constructors is looking like a reminiscence of the first couple of races last season for the realistic tier for the Renault team. But once again, they're not Renault, they're Alpine, but they still have those lingering performances. Zig Starburst and BRL Phantom, these are two reserve drivers, so it's going to be already on the back foot for the Alpine team, as both Gutidu and Ferrari could not attend today's Grand Prix. It's going to be hurting them in the Constructors' Championship. We'll see how well that helps out with those two reserve drivers tonight. Bosscookie, he got a podium a week ago, last time out in Bahrain, and it was honestly one of the ones that was kind of hoping it happened to be a little bit better. He was around P2, if not P1, battling the likes of the lead Rrd Bull and MewMew, but could not hold on to the charging Deerhunter from 11th to 2nd. So we'll see what he can do in the Scarlet Red Ferrari, but also his compatriot with Deerhunter, and see what he can do. And hopefully it's have a better qualifying than it was a week ago. That is going to be out of the Grand Prix, and qualifying is going to be Avi. He's already out, and it looks like Sector 1, that's going to be a purple sector and I believe purple all 3 sectors for the red Ferrari of Bosscookie, 33.197, about a second and a half quicker than the Alpine behind him. So that's going to be one Ferrari-powered failure, another one success so far. They're all chasing after Bosscookie in Q1 here today at China and Shanghai. I believe that's going to be, should be Larson Fan crossing the line. He actually goes provisional pole in the other Ferrari, 32.891, about a couple tenths ahead of his teammate. Larson Fan is being promoted up from Alfa Romeo to go fill in for Deerhunter in the Ferrari this week. So we'll see what he can do. He has 1 point to his name after finishing P10 a week ago in Bahrain. He started off Q1 with a big success. Wrathful. He is the driver that Haas signed about a week ago. Actually, ahead of this week, he reserved a week ago and is full-time this week after the departure of the first signed driver they had, Archie Pietri. But now Wrathful is here to stay. He's P5 at the moment, a 36.301, about a second, 0.3 behind his teammate in tweaking. Broken Reptile, another driver who is reserving, has a decent amount of reserves this time by in this week, he is reserving for Natona and the other Aston Martin. Natona had a pretty good showing a week ago, grabbed 4 points, P8. We'll see if the Aston Martin driver Reptile can do the same, filling in for the American. Speaking of reserves, Michi is once again a reserve for Rrd Bull. They signed another driver. It was BRL Wraith, but unfortunately he has a great place to be when it comes to the management position. They wish to find a driver, but unfortunately it's just not gone their way. We'll see how that works out in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully they get that all sorted out. Michi, though, is here for tonight, and see if he can go and bring some points to that Rrd Bull team. Speaking of the Rrd Bull team, their sister team, AlphaTauri, like I said, had a really good performance a week ago in Bahrain, as Unsighted Port actually going provisional pole, 32.3, about 5 tenths ahead of Larson Fan in the Ferrari. That's who they're chasing after. Bailey's going to have to find that time from that McLaren and see if he can do it. He did it a week ago. He finished P4, almost on that podium, only was taken away by Bosscookie, who actually was ahead of him the entire race. So it wasn't necessarily taken away, just much more, I guess, displaced, should I say. Like I said, AlphaTauri did a really good week ago. They had now P2 in the standings, only behind their sister team at Rrd Bull. So Bailey and Taylor are going to try to look up and keep that momentum going into round 2. Purple sector 1 for the American. Going through into turn 6 and 7. Flat left into 8 is going to be a strong place for this AlphaTauri. This looks like one of the most balanced cars on the grid, despite it's, you know, a little bit less in comparison to the Rrd Bull and the Mercedes. It looks like it could be the 3rd or 4th best car tonight. Taylor proves that point, 32.771, beats the Ferrari of Larson Fan by about a tenth or so, a couple tenths off, though, of Unsighted Port, and the McLaren have to watch out for that and how that comes out. His comeback Unsighted Port was signed for last week. Oh, squirrely off the final corner, turn 15 for John, the other McLaren. He'll go P5, 33.8, so that's going to be a lot of time. He's going to be found for the other McLaren driver who actually finished outside the top 10 a week ago. Hopefully he wants to change that. Through Q1 so far, he's P6. Going into the final chicanes and turn 15 and 16, I'm sorry, 14 and 15 is going to be Bailey in the AlphaTauri. He's valid, he's clean. Let's see if he can go grab a top 5 spot like he did a week ago. He's provisional pole, 32.3. That's exactly what AlphaTauri split the McLarens. That's about 51 thousandths of a second ahead. I'm sorry, yeah, 51 hundredths, my bad, ahead of the McLaren. So the McLarens are split by the AlphaTauris. I'm sorry, the AlphaTauri is split by the McLarens. Raptor spun round actually at the exit, I believe, of turn 12. Actually, I'm sorry, that is turn 11. My apologies, trying to fix out the stream's issue for the titles, as Raptor is going to start his flying lap in the Williams. Williams are up and scoring a point. That is a yellow flag. It looks like Bailey's off the pace, trying to stay out of the way of Zach the Beast in the Mercedes. So that's going to be one thing we talked about Deerhunter had a little bit of an issue in qualifying P11, but another big story was Zach the Beast almost was dropped out of qualifying that same session as well through Q2. Both were 10th and 11th on the mediums, and Zach unfortunately had a little bit more tire wear on those mediums in the Brackley teams. So, when he went in and got a front row start, his start was pretty abysmal. Dropped back a couple positions, actually getting passed by Deerhunter on the opening lap. And Deerhunter had to fight back from 11th to 2nd to grab a podium, but Zach did not finish. Zach so far, P3, 32.424. Mercedes has some work to do. The other Mercedes, though, of Deerhunter is going to be starting a flying lap this time by coming through turn 13 at the moment. Deer's going to try to go for another podium, if not a race win here tonight. It's going to be challenging to try to go and beat the Rrd Bull of MewMew, because once again, that Rrd Bull is pretty quick down the straight line, and it has a lot of downforce to his disposal. We'll see what the Mercs can do to counteract that. Mitchie is going to be the other Rrd Bull. He's going to start and finish his flying lap, 33.2, 8th position for the right now. The other Rrd Bull, though, MewMew is going to be starting his flying lap. Let's see what he can do. The championship leader and the last week's race winner starts his flying lap in China. So far, everyone has gone for the soft compound tire in Q1. The only driver who's not is going to be the Aston Martin and Alpine in P12 with a 34.062, about 20 hundredths off of the Alpine of Phantom in P11, with Raptor being P10. He actually got a good lap for the Williams up into provisional Q3, even though it is Q1. The top 15 get advanced into the next session, Q2, which means that the tires do not affect you. You will not have to use these tires at all. So just get a banker set out, get a flying lap as much as you can. If you're in a higher car, make sure you get a good enough lap to get in, and one that is safe enough and not have to worry about it. MewMew almost lost it through not only 9, but 10. Drifting it through in the Rrd Bull. Have to worry that one out. Maybe through the race, maybe pushing a little bit too hard. Let's see how that works out. Both MewMew and Deerhunter are both on laps. MewMew has set it on the purple sector. Deerhunter is going to be behind him. He set the purple sector away from that Rrd Bull, so maybe more downforce on the Mercedes car. Yellow flag looks like it is a stricken Rrd Bull, probably getting out of the way. Or actually, it's getting out of the way of the McLaren of John. In front, there he is, Mitchie on the right-hand side, going into turn 14, now into 15. Actually, I was right the first time. Now we're going into turn 15. That is going to be Zig Starbus out of the session. Not sure if that was in the pits or on track, but MewMew goes fastest, 32.03 tenths ahead of his sister teammate in Bailey, 29. So it is right now a Honda 1-2. Actually, correction, it is a Rrd Bull 1, Mercedes 2 with Bailey ahead of Port and Zach. Taylor 6th, Larson Fan of the Ferrari 7th, Reptile up to 8th, splitting the Ferraris, and Mitchie in the top. In the 10th spot. Taylor retires in the pit lane. That looks like the AlphaTauri thinks he is safe enough for the rest of the session. MewMew and Deerhunter are going to be on in laps. John's on a fire in P11 right now. He wants a little bit of redemption for last week's race where he did not grab any points for the McLaren, and he definitely wants some this time. Larson Fan, Unsighted Port, Bailey all have followed suit of Taylor's retirement in the pit lane, thinking they are safe for Q2 racing in about a couple of minutes or so. Lock up in the front left for the McLaren into the turn 12 right-hander, almost flat, but is definitely not yet. It's close enough, but watch out for the rear end because the tail end of your car can get a little snappy if you are not careful enough. Now down the 1.2 kilometer back straight. Once again, the longest in Formula One, beats out Abu Dhabi by about 4 meters. It was the measurement. 13 looks like another lockup from the McLaren. Gets good rotation though going through, and that leaves everyone from 3rd to 7th with the retirement of Zach the Beast in the pit lane. Have now retired in the pit lane, thinking they are safe. Going through the final quarter, making sure it is valid. Yes, it is. John kind of bails out a bit, doesn't improve his position, but does improve his lap by about a 10th or so. Car in front of him looks like it may be the Alpine. I'm sorry, that is the Williams of KP21 going down into turn 6. He's left the session again. Hopefully he can grab an invite back. So far, with about 2 minutes left in the session to go, it's about to be the dropout zone. It's a little bit running wide through. That's going to be KP21 and the Williams trying to go for that pushing extra lap time. And the Williams trying to get into Q2. I believe he got in it a week ago, but so far, the drop zone, Zig Starburst is out of qualifying. He will be out of Q1 along with Avi and the Alfa Romeo. Both drivers are out, but Rrd Bull is going to be on an out lap. He's going to be starting his flying lap soon. Carbon in the Alfa Romeo. He has trying some redemption. He had a 10-second time penalty and a couple super license points a week ago for a collision with, I believe it was Ferrari nut. So hopefully he can rebound. MewMew is now retired in the pit lane as well. We're expecting Deerhunter to do the same and maybe a couple moments or so. And once again, KP21, he's in the drop zone. Is he going to stay in the drop zone a little bit wide through 15, but he's going to go to the line with the DRS. He's going to stay in the drop zone, 35.566, about a 9/10 or so adrift of Zig in the Alpine. Going through turn 15. Oh, spinning around goes Carbon in the Alfa Romeo. He's going to keep it out of the barriers, but once again, stricken in the grass. He's going to have one last chance. Hopefully, if he can grab the tires all cleaned off to go and get his best shot at I guess a Q2 appearance. Minico has gone up to P8 ahead of his teammate Broken Reptile by about 2/10 of a second, my bad. But with that, though, that is actually a good improvement for the Aston Martin driver who was P13, excuse me, on the mediums. Excuse me. Mind a second, we are trying to figure out exactly what is the issue. We are thinking it may be I think I am still in the session. It looks like I am still in. Rrd Bull is still on his lap, so I'm guessing I'm still in the session he's in at least. We'll commentate over his lap going through turn 15, and the Haas, he's going to be a couple tenths adrift of Carbon in the Alfa Romeo. Can he improve it? Yes, he can. P17, but that is not going to be enough for a Q2 appearance for the Haas driver. Rrd Bull is out of qualifying. And same with KP21. He is out of qualifying as well. Avi as well. So it's just going to get down to Carbon. Can Carbon try to grab enough time? He needs about a second or so. I'm sorry, about 1.7 to be exact. So roughly 2/10 of a second. Maybe an improvement gap if he can get about a 2-second lap time improvement. Going through turn 15, he validates. That's going to be it for the Alfa Romeo. Carbon is out of qualifying. So through one session here at Shanghai, topping the timing charts, the two that did it a week ago. MewMew ahead of Deerhunter, Rrd Bull ahead of Mercedes. Is that the trend for tonight? We'll have to figure that one out. Bailey right now sits P3. That's pretty much where he was a week ago. Port in the McLaren goes P4. Zach ahead of Taylor with 5 and 6 respectively. Larson fan of the Ferrari, definitely in some improvement. Alfa Romeo drive he had a week ago. Reptile, the Aussie, is P9 with a Bosscookie running out the top 10 for Q1. Mitchie, the other Aussie, in P11 with Phantom tweaking. All make it through qualifying 1. So, going into qualifying 2 now. This is now 15 minutes to figure out who will be in the Fast 10. The drivers that can compete for pole position. The tires you qualify into the top 10 do matter, however, this time. And it's going to be a race of who can have the least amount of tire wear on their car while still having the fastest laps. The mediums may be the best tire for some of these top teams like Mercedes, like Rrd Bull, maybe even McLaren and Alpha Tauri. Can they get in on the C3 medium set? We'll have to figure that one out. But it's going to be tough, indeed. And we have a Mercedes out. I believe another one is out behind him. Deerhunter is going to be the first one out on track. So the Merc is wasting no time. Behind him is going to be the Ferrari. I believe that is Larson fan. Yes, it is. So once again, out of Q1, if you're just now joining us, is going to be in P16. It's going to be Zig Starburst in the Alpine. P17 is going to be Rrd Bull in the Haas. P18 is going to be KP21X. In the Williams, P19 and 20 is going to be both Alfa Romeos of Carbon and of Avi. Hopefully they can get a better showing in the Alfa Romeo garage through the rest of the Grand Prix. But now into Q2, like I said, this is going to matter for qualifying. Larson Fan is on those mediums. Same with John, same with Cookie. Those guys have it on. Cookie's not out on track yet, but Larson Fan and John are both out on track on the C3s, with Taylor, Port, MewMew, and Tweaking all have the medium C3 tires booted on to their cars as well. We'll have to figure out, can these drivers make it to Q3 on those mediums, because that's going to be more beneficial. The softs, how long will they last? That's going to be crucial to a lot of these guys' strategy as well. Right now, biggest surprise, Deerhunter's on the softs, along with Minico and Zach, both Mercedes on the softs. Some of these drivers now coming back into the session. They lagged out towards the end of Q3, so hopefully that all works out. Getting everything back sorted and nothing messes up. Let me get chat opened, because I mean I usually don't do this, but you know what? It'll be fine this time. I am alone in the commentary booth, and it's a long Q2 session, so we'll have it. Hey Ritzy, how you doing? So once again, Deerhunter going through. That's a yellow flag to the final kind of section of the track, turn 13, 14, 15. Looks like the Aston Martin, I believe, of maybe Minico, letting by. Yes, it is Minico, letting by the Mercedes driver of Zach. So going through into 9 and 10, the double left for Deerhunter now. Takes a lot more tidier than we saw MewMew do it in Q1. So it looks like maybe more downforce was put right on that Mercedes driver. We'll see how he works out the rest of the lap, mixing the apex of 11 into 12. It's going to be difficult through 13, going to the exit of 12 here now into the 1.2 kilometer back straight. 13 has always been a little bit difficult. If you get the 13 right, the lap kind of falls into place. That is true. I do have kind of a little bit of an hour to chat with you guys. Down into the braking zone of 13. Deerhunter hooks up the apex well, doesn't get on the exit curve too much. Going through into 14 now. We're going to be one corner left. He can keep it valid. It's going to be the lap that everyone has to chase after. Through 15, Deerhunter in the Mercedes. He had a poor qualifying. Didn't get out of Q2 last week. He now looks for 34.2. It looks like that is a lap for them to beat. Now, is that going to be doable? Probably. We'll see for that one out for ourselves. Larson Fan going through. He goes a 34.2. That is about 10 hundredths of a second or so, maybe less, about 8 to be exact, 8 thousandths, separating the Mercedes and the Ferrari on a compound difference of tire. We'll have to figure that one out. John on the mediums, like we said. It's a Haas of Tweaking going through the final corner. He's going to go up and do a 36.3 on the medium tires as well. Going through the final corner now, it's going to be the Mercedes driver of Zach. We'll see what he can do, if he can match his teammate. 34.2 is the time to beat. Can he get there in the Mercedes? Yes, he does. 33.2. That's going to be original pole for the Mercedes driver. John. Like I said, he's on the mediums. If he can get through, no, he can't. He's going to be boxing. He's going to validate, and void his lap. Cookie's going to be on an out lap in the Ferrari. He's going to go up to turn 15 now. Minico with the 33.1 in the Aston Martin. He goes provisional pole in the chase after the Canadian, going through the rest of qualifying to the other Aston Martin. That is going to be Reptile. He's going to bail out of his lap, go back into the pits. Everyone is now seeming to be in turn 1 now. Look at Raptor trying to get out of the way of Cookie in the Ferrari. Let's see what Cookie can do. He had a good qualifying session a week ago. Grabbed P3 in the race. A podium for the Ferrari team. And that is Tweaking off as well, getting away from the Ferrari and keeping void of his lap. Oh, around goes Cookie in the exit of turn 6. He keeps it out of the barriers and on the track until he has to get back going, kind of passing through the grass a bit. That is unfortunate for his lap. It looks like it was going to be a little scuffy as the Haas of Tweaking lets him back through, trying to avoid out of his way. I believe that is going to be MewMew. Yes, it is. MewMew is now out, or an out lap. Raptor spins right in front of Tweaking on the exit of turn 7. Goes through, luckily, so no problem there. As you see the Mercedes, I believe that is Zach, actually. No, it's Deerhunter getting railed back into his pit garage. So let's go look, once again, MewMew, last week's race winner in the Rrd Bull. I mean, once he's on those mediums, So the C3s look like the provisional tire that these guys are trying to choose. A lot of these guys, except for Bailey, Phantom, Mitchie, and the 3 so far Merc-powered cars, 1 through 3, Miniko, Zach, and Deer, all have chosen the mediums. So it looks like a lot of these drivers are trying to get through on to the Fast 10 in Q3 on these mediums. So the next driver to cross the line is actually going to be tweaking in the Haas. He's going to start another lap, I'm pretty sure. Behind him is going to be Raptor in the Williams on the mediums. Behind him is going to be MewMew in the Rrd Bull as well. Just a forewarning, I may be muting my mic at some point during the track or during the commentary session to clear my throat or to cough or to whatever. Once again, like I said, if you were not here at the beginning, I may be coming down to something. So, trying to kind of keep some courtesy if I can. Maybe he's going to start his lap going through turn 1, the difficult and winding but reducing turn 1 right-hander that feeds into a quick left. See what the Rrd Bull can do. A little bit of lock up the front left, but it helps for rotation. He goes through into 3. The Rrd Bull is now slingshot down into 4, now into 5. See what the Rrd Bull can do into 6. Purple sector 1, and that's going to be a crucial moment. If he can get through easily on these mediums, Rrd Bull may look once again perfect with their first driver going in the championship lead. Once again, he won a week ago with his main championship rival. Deerhunter had to fight for 11th to 2nd, so that's going to be one main thing. If they can just minimize the mistakes from that first seat and have the squabbling Mercs still kind of tripling over each other like they did a week ago, Rrd Bull could be on for another win, but we have to figure out if Merc can do the same. Hopefully they don't have the same blunder they do a week ago in qualifying 2, which they pretty much won't. They look pretty sharp right now in 2nd and 3rd respectively, even though some of these times may not be competitive, including Cookie's 44.1. And tweaking does improve 35.8. I saw that roughly. He's still 1.6 off of the Ferrari of Larson Fan. Some yellow flags here and there and everywhere, it seems. Going through into 14, now going off, feeding into 15 as Cookie goes out on a lap again. One final time, one final corner. Here comes MewMew through turn 15 with the DRS now open for the Rrd Bull. Can this be provisional pole? 32.6? Yes, it is. It's about, I believe, 6/10 adrift of the Q1 best lap time of the Rrd Bull driver with, I believe, was a 32.0. Next driver behind him is going to be Deerhunter, going to start his flying lap once again on the C3s now. He's on the mediums. He's going to try to go and shoot for a 32.6 like his rival MewMew and the Rrd Bull can do. Going into turn 1 once again, that winding and reducing right-hander. It's difficult, but it looks like Deer can get it all. Go down into apex of turn 2 into 3. Some drivers are out. Both McLarens almost nose the turn. Inside of port, 33.1, P3, John 34.0, P6 ahead of Deerhunter's lap, and 34.2. Once again, going into turn 6 and end of sector 1. That looks like a purple sector for the Mercedes, so it could be even going through the rest of the lap if you can hold it there. 32.6 is the goal they have to beat. The next driver after Deer to cross the line, maybe a squabbling Aston Martin and Haas on the long 1.2 kilometer back straight going into turn 13. So it looks like we have some freedom between Deerhunter and MewMew to go kind of fight it out. Looks like MewMew is kind of slowing down a bit, I believe. Yes, it is, because Mitchie is still in the pit lane. The Haas, P9 right now, ahead of Broken Reptile. That's tweaking going. Good for him so far. Once again, he's now boxed. He's set 3 laps on those mediums. He's going to have one final push for the softs. 5 minutes left in qualifying. And the championship rivals going head-to-head. Here comes Deerhunter through 14. Now into the slingshot before 15. The left-hander is quick, and he has to make sure he doesn't get invalidated. He stays off the curb on the inside a bit. Oh, he runs a little bit too wide, and that's invalidated. It's exactly what he did not need. So now hopefully if he has enough time and enough fuel, he could go once more. If not, he'll be starting on those softs, which is not a good place for Deerhunter to be in. Looks like he's not. He looks like he may be saving enough fuel. He could get back to the pits in time while they figure that one out. Is John on a push lap? Looks like he still is on a push lap. He believes he can improve his 32.0. Does he have enough fuel to complete the lap? Looks like he does not. He goes straight on. Looks like Mitchie's finally... Actually, Mitchie's still in the pit lane. I'm sorry. Phantom and Raptor are both out on laps. Mercedes, I believe, of Zach is out once more again. Let's see the tires these guys have put on right now. A flying lap will start, I believe, for Broken Reptile, as long as Phantom and I believe Raptor has crossed the line as well. No, he's not. I believe he has actually gone into the pits. No, he's not. He's in turn 7. I was wrong. Some Alpha Tauris going on the track. That's both Bailey and Taylor. One on the softs, the other one on the mediums. So a little bit of differing strategy for the Alpha Tauri gang, trying to see if they can get into Q3 once again, like they both did a week ago. Reptiles out of qualifying. That actually crashed in the entry of the pit lane. That is not good for the Aston Martin of Reptile. 58.3 was his lap time in P10. That's unfortunately going to be it for his qualifying session. The Alpine of Phantom going through 9, now into 10. He needs to get his best lap he can. Remember, both Alpines did not have the night to remember a week ago. That's why they are sitting 10th in the Constructors' Championship. Both were out by about lap 5. That is not the day they wanted to have. We'll see if they can try to go and improve that setting. They need some points from Phantom. Unfortunately, Zig could not get through into Q2. Phantom needs to get into Q3 if they want some definite solid chances of points here, because it's difficult to overtake here at China once that DRS train starts forming. Going through the final quarter now is going to be Reptile. He's going to start his flying lap on the... Oh, that's going to be invalidated, which will invalidate his next lap as well. That's it for qualifying for Raptor. He's not going to have enough time to get across for another lap if he has enough fuel, that is. He's going through the final couple of corners. I believe that's going to be Zach in the in the Mercedes. Going through the final corner, he keeps it valid, unlike his teammate Deerhunter. Does he improve? Yes, he does. 33.2. Port's out of qualifying. He retires in the pit lane. So both Alpha Tauris are now going to be starting their lap. Taylor behind Bailey. Bailey on the softs, remember, and Taylor on the medium. So we'll see who can get through, if not both of them. Larson fans on the cutoff line. Tweakings on the cutoff line. Broken Reptile is going to be out of Q2, period, no matter how much retirements, unless a disqualification happens. He is out right now. Mitchie does not come out of the pit, so it looks like he may not even have enough time. No, he's not. He's out of qualifying. Mitchie's now done. The Rrd Bull is out. That's a good shock exit of Q2. Reptile and Mitchie both out so far. Tweaking's going to try to save it. Raptor's not going to have enough time unless he has enough fuel. Bailey's coming out of the exit of turn 6 into 7 now. We'll see what they can do. Tweaking and Larson found on out laps. Deerhunter, he needs a soft lap to be fine. Going through turn 15 where it invalidated a lap ago. He did not do it this time. In the run up to turn 1, he goes P6, 33.6, so he looks like he's a little bit okay. Phantom getting out of the way may have aborted his lap away from Bailey. He passes through in the Alpha Tauri. Once again, an outlap for John. Cookie's on an outlap. Zach's going down the main straight. Is that going to be enough fuel? Is it going to be enough flying lap for him? Or is he going to, once again, bail into the pit lane? He looks like he is safe. P4 at the moment. The next one to cross the line is going to be Raptor in the Williams. He goes through turn 15. Once again, he's invalidated. Looks like he has enough fuel to start a number. So he's gone through. He has one more chance to get through into Q3. Is it going to be enough for the Williams driver? Behind him, Deerhunter. Zach does improve a bit, I think. 33.1 goes ahead of Port. Yes, he does into P3 at the moment. Bailey, he's going through the final corner. He's still valid. He's still on a roll for Q3. Looks like he will, though. That is going to be P8 for the Alpha Tauri. Where's Taylor going to be? P10. He beats Larson Fan by about 2/10. Larson Fan still has enough time. He's on those softs going through turn 12. Looks like purple sector 2 for that Ferrari as well. So he's a little bit on the large here. Larson Fan could knock Taylor out of qualifying. Checkered flag's out. MewMew is done, as well as Phantom. Phantom does improve. Oh, Larson Fan loses at the exit of turn 13. His qualifying's done. That's going to be a Ferrari out of qualifying. So Bosscookie's going to be the only one flying the flag for the Scuderia in Q3. Tweaking's on a flyer now. He's going to see what he can do. He needs a couple seconds or so to get past into Q3. Can the Haas get in? They got points a week ago. It would be great if they could go in. Raptor, he's not too far behind. He's off the pace and spun around again. Unfortunately, like he did in Q1. Unfortunate for the Williams driver. He's out of qualifying as well. Larson Fan, Reptile, Mitchie, and Raptor all out of qualifying. Is Tweaking going to follow suit, or can he knock off the Alpha Tauri? If he cannot, it's going to be a huge, huge day for Alpha Tauri. With having a driver on the mediums get into Q3. That's a big time for them to have in, and a very, very big strategy call. Tweaking up to the line, cannot. 34.8. Out of qualifying, Larson Fan, Tweaking, Broken Reptile, Mitchie, and Supply Raptor. As John improves to P3, Minico goes provisional pole, a 32.5 for the Aston Martin. Oh, around the final corner. That's a spinning Williams once more. Raptor ahead of Zach the Beast. Once again, Zach crosses the checkered flag. He makes Q2 a little bit safer than he did a week ago. Same with his teammate Deerhunter, who gets split. Both Mercs get split by the McLaren of Port and the Ferrari of Bosscookie. Phantom gets P8. Once again, like I said, Alpine needed a good qualifying, and they got one. Not as good, though, as Aston Martin's rival, according to some, AlphaTauri, P2 in the Constructors' Championship. But once again, that medium runner into Q3 is going to be huge for their strategy call. Let's see what those guys at Honda, especially with Bois and with Feta, let's see what those guys do at Aston Martin's rival. And I put that in big quotation marks because I don't understand that comparison. Let's see what AlphaTauri does. So once again, if you're just tuning in, Larson Fan is out of qualifying 2, Tweaking's out of qualifying 2. Once again, a great showing for that Haas driver. Got 2 points a week ago and almost gave it all he had and couldn't get into Q3, unfortunately. Reptile's out of qualifying. Raptor and Mitchie are both out as well. Out of Q1 was, once again, in P16, Zig in the Alpine, P17, Wrathful in the other Haas, P18, the Williams of KP21, P19 and 20, both Alfa Romeos, Carbon ahead of Avi. Roll on Q3. So, might as well talk about it in some chat in a second, but let me go through the obvious push. Qualifying 2 concludes here at Shanghai. Minico, it's a Canadian 1-2. Aston Martin leads Rrd Bull. MewMew gets through on those C3s. That's going to be a very crucial day for Rrd Bull indeed. John splits, once again, is split by the Rrd Bull, both on the top 3. 2 out of the 3 on the softs. Zach in the Mercedes, once again, a lot safer through Q2 this time by. He's on the mediums as well, as along with Port and Cookie and Deerhunter. Once again, he's now the first Q3 appearance for the Mercedes driver, who sits P2 in the championship. Phantom and Bailey both sit in P8 and 9 respectively on those soft compound tires, and Taylor squeaks through by about 2/10 or so into Q3 on those mediums for AlphaTauri. Crucial day for the AlphaTauri teams. Larson Fan, Tweaking, Reptile, Raptor, and Mitchie are out of Q2. All right, sorry for the delay. I am back, and now qualifying 3 underway here in Shanghai for round 2 of the realistic BRL tier. Now, I want to see in the chat below, who do you think is going to be on pole for this Chinese Grand Prix, and who do you think has the best chance? Not only if they are starting on pole, but who do you think has the best chance in the race, and who do you think the podiums are? Give me who do you think the pole sitter, best chance, and podium in the chat below. We'll see how that plays out. If you're tuning in for the first time at the Breakout Racing League, if you're from Taco Streamer, for anyone else, or as a new viewer through Twitch, welcome to the Breakout Racing League. We race mostly on the weekends from Thursday. We actually race on Wednesday for Formula 2. If you missed that stream, you can go check it out in the VODs after this race, if you do may. You have Realistic, which you are seeing now. You have on Friday Tier 3 and 4 races, and you see on Saturday you have Tier 2 and Tier 1, with Sunday being ACC. Go tune out and tune in to those races and the past and previous races if you would like to see so for yourself. And explore around. If you want to join the Breakout Racing League Discord, you should see the bot at some point, and they may even, there's a couple commands I'm not really smart with. You'll see that as some chat mods can direct you to that server as well if you want to end. But welcome to Realistic, and for round 2, Cookie's going to start his lap in a couple seconds. He does. Deerhunter starts his flying lap. Phantom starts his flying lap in a couple minutes or so. John's going to come around turn 15 to start his flying lap. Bailey's not too far behind. Zach's behind him. Minico's still in the pits with Taylor and Port both on flying laps already, and MewMew on an out lap. Already see some comments. So far, you see 100% of the votes going to MewMew. I'm sorry, as it's now been coming down. Looks like MewMew right now is the favorite for pole. Let's see how that plays out through qualifying. Deer or Zach? Is that going to be the championship rival for not only Rrd Bull, but is it going to be for MewMew as well? Let's see how they play out. Going through the final corner, Phantom's going to be the first one. I'm sorry, to actually closest to the line. My apologies. He's going to start his qualifying lap in a couple of seconds or so. See a lot of love in the chat for MewMew getting pole. Let's see how that plays out. Like I said a second ago, the closest driver for the to the line is actually going to be Taylor. Like I said, it's a very big strategy call that he got in on those mediums. We'll see how that plays out through turn 15 for qualifying 3. Let's see what Taylor can do. The 2-time realistic champion goes 32.4. That's a good lap to beat. Deer goes even faster, 31.5, about 9/10 of a second. The Mercedes goes ahead of the Rrd Bull. That is the fastest time so far tonight. Cookie has validated. He'll go once more. Phantom going through turn 7. Bailey going through, John going through the final corner goes to 32.4. Port goes to 31.8, so 3/10 adrift of Deer in. There's a 31.9. Looks like pretty close between Zach and Unsighted Port. About 3/10 adrift of Deerhunter in the Mercedes. Cookie's going through turn 6 now on the exit. Phantom's going through turn 12. And he goes exiting turn 6, and MewMew is going through turn 1. We'll see what the Rrd Bull can have for that 31.5 that has been set from Deerhunter and the Mercedes. I saw a couple votes for Phantom in the Alpine, maybe a shock and dark horse vote in the Renault-powered team. We'll see what Phantom can do. Going through turn 14, now in the short shoot into 15. The Alpine, he's going to have a tall order to get it, but some people think he can. Can Phantom grab a pole position lap? We'll see. No, he goes P7, 34.0, still a good lap respectively. Cookie goes a 31.7. Not sure that's correct or not. But it looks like he's having a little bit of a scrap with Deerhunter going down into turn 12 and 13. Cookie outbreaks the Mercedes driver going into 14. He gets a little bit better traction. Looks like Deer is going to have to back out and go straight on. Cookie goes straight on as well, so it looks like he did set that lap. Maybe a little bit of a delay. Oh, MewMew's been spun around. Exit 13. It looks like he may have actually backed into the barrier. Does he have any rear wing damage? Not sure if he has it, but that is a very unfortunate error. He's going to have 1 or 2 more runs to go and try to match or beat that 31.5 that has been set from the Mercedes. Minico is the only driver left to set a time other than MewMew. He's going through turn 2, now into 3, into 4. And the short shoot into 5 and 6 now in the exit of sector 1. But it looks like right now advantage definitely goes to Merc and Deerhunter with a 31.5. Cookie went in and then straight out, back again. He's going into turn 4 now. The Ferrari looks like he wants to get as much track time as possible. It's come to my attention, rain is in 5 minutes. That is why Cookie went out and straight back in. He wants another chance at pole position, which is going to be detrimental to MewMew. He needs to get out now if he wants a chance for a pole position if rain does come. Because right now, as soon as the first water droplet hits the track, it is not going to help. What? All right, I'm just going to pretend that didn't happen. Let's go through right now. The first car out on track is appearing Cookie. I don't know. It looks like he's off into the sunset. He's just having a good time. He's going to find the nearest hospitality suite, grab some cookies, grab a bag of chips. Oh, now he's back. Oh, he's gone. All right. Let's just move on from that. The first driver on track is going to be Taylor in the AlphaTauri. Behind him is going to be apparently Cookie. I'm not sure if that's correct or not as he goes diving through. It looks like he's on track this time. He's not going to go find the hospitality suite. The AlphaTauri's behind him. And then behind him is going to be the Aston Martin of Minico. And I believe that is yes, it is the Rrd Bull of MewMew behind Minico. Yellow flag through the back straight. No one's on that back straight. So good marshallings right now. We're trying to get I guess the rain is scaring us a bit. Going into turn one, there is a yellow flag. Looks like maybe the Mercedes, I believe, of Zach or Deer. Not sure who is trying to let through one of the McLarens as they now kind of stack up going into turn 6. So Taylor's going to be the first one to complete his flying lap, this time by next lap. We'll see what the AlphaTauri can do. 32.4, that is P7. It is very close and very tight up here at the front. We'll see what he could do. AlphaTauri and Taylor starts his flying lap. Cookie starts his flying lap again. Hopefully it is where he is on his screen as well. Looks like a little bit of desync is happening as well. Taylor's teammate Bailey is going to start his flying lap. Yellow flags all over the place. But we're still going to give it the best we can. Going to turn 1, the AlphaTauri goes. But now we have to look. Our eyes go to MewMew in the Rrd Bull. MewMew needs to get a good qualifying lap in. It's all or nothing for the Rrd Bull right now. They have had a pretty poor qualifying in terms of where Mitchie is in P12 and 13, I think. Actually, P13, I believe. He could not get a flying lap in through Q2. That is a stricken Aston Martin is out. Minico retires in the pit lane. So he is out of qualifying, cannot go any faster. Phantom does not go out either. Let's keep in mind, let's watch the halo, make sure there's no rain droplets coming down on MewMew's lap. If that is the case, we could pretty much go see pole for Deerhunter right now. Zach into turn 6. Deerhunter is going a little bit slow going into 13. But keep in mind, Bailey's out of qualifying too. I did not see what happened to the AlphaTauri, but Bailey's out of qualifying. Purple sector for MewMew in the Rrd Bull. He's going to go on a flyer right now. He needs to try to grab that 31.5 from the Mercedes of Deerhunter the best he possibly can. If he can grab it and dictate the race like he did in Bahrain, it could be another Mercedes, I guess, victory that swept away from MewMew being the sole Rrd Bull up there, which is going to be tough to swallow. But if Mercedes can rebound, try to grab that victory, grab a little bit of more, I guess, contention and, I guess, performance like they didn't find about a week ago with a little bit of some mishaps. We'll see how it works. MewMew going through turn 15 with the DRS up to the line. He goes provisional pole, 4/10 clear of Deerhunter in the Mercedes. So that's exactly what Rrd Bull needed for MewMew to grab that lap. That's huge. The other Mercedes, Zach's going through the final corner. Can he match? No, he cannot. 31.9. He stays P5. Zach cannot beat the Mercedes rival of MewMew. Going down into the long back straightaway into turn 13 goes the McLaren. That is going to be outside of port. He goes to the braking zone, grabs the apex. He's going to keep it valid so far. He has one more corner to dictate. Can he go onto that front row? He had a good qualifying earlier through Q2. Rain has come down, so this is going to be the final time that the drivers get in laps. Port goes and does improve, but not on the front row. He's a little missing out. Cookie's going to start his lap. That's going to be maybe a little too bit late. John goes up to P6. Taylor, he's going through turn 13. Now with the rain coming down, traction's going to go and be miserable. Bailey to P8. He gets out qualified for Taylor for the first time this season. Bailey, I believe that's the first time he got out qualified for a teammate since Brazil last season. With how much if the Tauri going through turn a little bit again, it doesn't matter as long as he can grab a bit of time. It looks like he may not have the chance. No, he doesn't. He dives into the pit lane. John, he's basically done on his lap as well. Zach may as well back out as well. Look at the rain coming down on the halo once more. Looks like he's going to try for it, though. AlphaTauris both go in. Phantom, he stays out and goes in again. 12 seconds remaining on the clock. Zach stays out. He's going to think he has a little bit more time in the bank. Can the Mercedes beat Port? He does improve, but not enough. He has one more chance if he has enough fuel. Qualifying is done. Checkered flags out. Phantom He starts that second lap. Let's see what he can do in the Alpine. Taylor is done in qualifying. MewMew pits. He's right now done the best he can do. Cookie went P2. Beats Deerhunter even with the rain. That is a pretty extraordinary lap from the Mercedes rival. And Cookie, once again, Cookie grabbed the podium a week ago in Bahrain. We'll see how it well. I mean, so far, if you look at the Chinese culture, red is happiness. I think Cookie's pretty happy with that. Port has crossed the line. He cannot improve. He goes P4 at 31.664. John retires in the pit lane. He's out of qualifying as well. Zach is going to be done. He's out of qualifying. He's a little bit slow. Looks like it's just going to be Cookie. Can he try to grab pole away from MewMew in the Rrd Bull? The Ferrari looking a little pacey, even with a little bit of rain coming down. Phantom's going to be the next one to cross the line. Down the long back straightaway he goes. 34.0 is the time he has set right now. He could definitely improve on that, but by how much? With the rain, it's not going to help him at all. The Alpine has a little bit struggling for traction in the exit of turn 13 due to the weather. Let's see what he can do through 15. One final time. If he can keep it valid, he stays. No, he doesn't. Phantom's out of qualifying as well. Spins across the line and keeps it out of the barriers. Sebastian Vettel, Hungary style. Cookie goes through 14, now in the short shoot to 15. If he can keep it out, let's see, he has enough grip. Does he have enough time in the bag? Can he grab original pole? No, he cannot. MewMew's gotten pole here in China. Looks like a little bit of desync still apparent to that Ferrari. Not exactly sure where he is on his screen, but once again, the checker flag is out. Qualifying is over. We'll see where that Ferrari is on his screen. At the moment, he is going through turn 8, and it appears, it says he's on an out lap. Even if he did, I don't know. We'll have to see, because I'm pretty sure even on his screen, he may have crossed that start-finish line after the checkered flag was thrown, meaning he may not have, even if he was given enough time to start another flying lap. I'm not sure if he made it. We'll have to figure that one out from his point of view, maybe. But right now, it looks like he's still on that out lap. I'm pretty sure if he were, I mean, it's going to be 5 seconds left, time remaining anyway, so it's going to be 2-1 qualifying should be done. Yes, oh, now he's stopped. Now he said he's pitting. I'm confused. China does not seem to be a big fan of that scarlet red Ferrari. I said he was happy a second ago. I may have to retract that statement. So it looks like he is in the pit lane. All right. First, he went off to the hospitality clinic to grab a cookie. Now he put the pit limiter on halfway through turn 15. So, you know, he's just having a fun time here in China. But qualifying is over once again. MORT MewMew on the pole for the second consecutive week. This time ahead of Bosscookie in the Ferrari. A week ago, it was Zach the Beast. So once again, another front row sitter alongside that Rrd Bull. Deerhunter, he has a lot better qualifying than he did a week ago. Up 8 positions. He's now starting P3 on the second row. He's going to be alongside the Mercedes-powered McLaren of unsighted port. McLaren trying to fight back. Zach the Beast splits the two McLarens. He sits P5 alongside VRA John ahead of tonight's Grand Prix. Taylor and Bailey, once again, Alpha Tauris have row 4 to themselves. Once again, Bailey is out-qualified for the first time since Brazil in season, I believe, 2 of the Realistic. But before that, he wasn't out-qualified until I believe it was actually Italy was the last time Bailey was out-qualified by a teammate. And then you have Minico, the Canadian, in P9 in the Aston Martin with Phantom alongside him, rounding out the top 10. All these drivers will have to start on the tires they qualified into for this round. It's going to be different. It's going to be interesting. Is there going to be any rain? Is there going to be a lot of strategies? Is there going to be any safety cars? We'll have to figure that out. looks like we were thinking about a lobby restart, so while we're doing that, I guess I'll update you on the points like I did earlier in the stream. Drivers' Championship, MewMew leads 28 points to his name with a win in Bahrain a week ago. Deerhunter is behind him by 7. He has 18 points to his name, ahead of Cookie in the Ferrari, with Bailey in the Alpha Tauri behind him. In 5th position is Minico. 6th is Taylor. 7th is Natona, who is not here tonight. He is unfortunately could not make it. Tweaking in P8, Larson Fan P9, KP21 rounds out the top 10. KP21 was technically 11th in the finishing order a week ago, but he did not score any points, and the reserves do not get scored unless they are having a full-time seat. So he is now P10 with 0 points to his name in the Williams. Constructors, Rrd Bull leads Alpha Tauri by 5 points. Honda 1-2 ahead of Mercedes in P3 with 18. Ferrari in 4th with 15, ahead 1 point to Aston Martin, who has 14 respectively. McLaren, a little bit of a drop-off, 8 points behind Aston Martin with 6 points to their name. Haas is P7 for the first time in a long time. I believe 2018 probably even was the last time they were up that high. 2 points to their name. Alfa Romeo, 1 point to their name, ahead of Williams and Alpine, rounds out the Constructors' Championship. My apologies, stay patient with me as we wait for the lobby invite. Got one? Perfect. So while we wait, I'll tell you the grid ahead of the round 2 here at China for the Chinese Grand Prix in Realistic. In the top 10, once again, you have MewMew, Bosscookie, Deerhunter, Unsighted Port, Zach the Beast, John, Taylor, Bailey, Minico, and Phantom, with MewMew sitting on the front row and on pole position for the second straight consecutive week, this time alongside the red Ferrari of Bosscookie. Deerhunter sits in 3rd position on the second row, the red alongside Port in the McLaren, his first start, and so far he's had a pretty good qualifying run. Zach the Beast splits the 2 McLarens as he's alongside John in P6. Taylor Clan ahead of his teammate Bailey with an Alpha Tauri. 4th row, Minico ahead of Phantom, who round out the top 10. They all have to start on those tires. P11 is going to be Larson Fan and P12. 1 second. And Larson Fan is going to be P11, Tweaking P12, Reptile is going to be P13, Sublime Raptor P14, and P15 to be the Mercedes of Michi. Or no, sorry, not the Mercedes, the Rrd Bull of Michi. In 16th position, we'll have the Alpine of Zig Starburst alongside Wrathful in the Haas. P18 is going to be... Zig Starburst is going to be alongside Michi in the Rrd Bull. P17 is going to be Wrathful in the Haas. P18 is going to be KP21X in the Williams in the 9th row of the grid. In the 10th row, in the final row, is going to be both Alfa Romeos Carbon ahead of Avi. Let's see if the Alfa Romeos can rebound. Let's see who is going to stop MewMew. Let's see if Mercedes can challenge. Let's see what Rrd Bull will do with Michi going through the field. And let's see, can any of the other teams, can maybe Ferrari step in, McLaren step in, Aston Martin or Alfa Romeo, let's see what they can do. Can Alpine get some points that they much need? Let's see what the amount of storylines going through into China. With me as we get everyone into the lobby. just for a little bit of information, the Twitch overlay, so I will be able to see who gives penalties, unlike a week ago in Bahrain in Tier 2, if you do recall, if you tuned into that stream. To give a little bit of self-promotion, welcome to the Breakout Racing League. If you haven't seen us on Twitch or haven't tuned into a stream prior than tonight, welcome. This is a North American league that races on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays among Formula 1 and ACC on PC and on Xbox. You're tuning in to the Xbox on Realistic Grand Prix here in China for round 2 of the Realistic Championship here in Season 3 of the Realistic Season 7 of the Breakout Racing League total. We raced Formula 2 a week ago, so if you would like to see that race, unfortunately, excuse me, it was not streamed on the Breakout Racing League Twitch, but you can go head over to, I believe it was Minico. Someone probably can send the link in Twitch in the chat. The Formula 2 races, we had a little bit of problems going through. Tomorrow, the Tier 3 and Tier 4 race at China of their equal Grand Prix for equal performance and the BRL equal tiers. And have Tier 2 and Tier 1, the big guns, if you may add or may say, their equal performance tiers will go on performance here at round 2 at the Chinese Grand Prix on Saturdays. It's the biggest day for Formula 1, but the biggest day for ACC, that's seen on Sunday for Xbox. Xbox, we have on Sundays, we have the ACC Round 4. I believe this is going to be at, I can't remember. Oh, it's at Spa, the 2 hours of Spa. I believe it is a 1 hour in Assetto Corsa Competizione. That's a big race indeed. ACC also has a, I believe that is on Fridays at around, I'm not sure exactly I think it's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I could be wrong with that. And a Tier 1 PC is at 10. Those will probably be streamed, if they are streamed, on the Breakout Racing League YouTube channel. So go tune into that as well. We'll have a lot of fun and a lot of racing over the course of Saturday and even Sunday. If you do recall and would like to watch some racing, go head out to our social media, to our Twitch and our YouTube. You can see those racing happen all across the Breakout Racing League. Now, once again, some of these guys, we put in the prediction of who was going to get pole. Well, a lot of you selected that was going to be MewMew in the Rrd Bull. We'll have another question. Who do you think is going to be the podium sinners? Will it be a top team, and maybe a lower team, like a Ferrari, like a McLaren, like an Aston Martin, even an AlphaTauri, or maybe even if it's chaotic enough, can we see a Williams or a Haas on the podium tonight? Or will it be a chaotic podium? Will we have a new winner? Will it not be a top team? We have a lot of questions and a lot of answers. Who do you think is going to be on the podium tonight? Let's have that question first. Hey man, you never know. Alfa Romeo could have a good day. Rhodes put in work. Don't even try and limit the success of SF1 Rhodes and his Ferrari-powered team. Yes, the Alfa Martin. I definitely agree, Phantom. It's the best team. Well, if you're just now tuning in from the streets of Bahrain and the sand dunes of that same country to the high rises of Shanghai, welcome along to the Breakout Racing League Season 7, Round 2, Realistic Tier for the Chinese Grand Prix. And Shanghai, then, the world's largest city by population, 24 million people. We're not going to quite accumulate those numbers tonight, however, but the crowds are ready for some BRL racing. Let's see how that plays out. And up at the setting then, let's talk about the track. 16 corners, 7 to the left, 9 to the right, acclimates the 5.5 kilometer, 3.4 mile track here in Shanghai, China, with the longest back straight in Formula 1 at 1.209 kilometers. We'll have a lot of fun into the braking zone of turn 14, assisted with DRS, as well as the turn 1 winding and reducing corner, along with DRS as well. We'll see what overtaking looks like. We'll have the C4, C3, and C2, the soft, medium, and the hard, the middle range, and the balance spec of these drivers and these compounds. We'll see how they play out. And some big stories going in. MewMew, once again, championship leader. Cookie, he's going to try to look for a rebound. He wants to grab that P2 that he lost to Deerhunter a week ago. It's kind of funny because Deerhunter starts directly behind him in P3. He's going to look for some redemption for missing out a week ago and McLaren needs that redemption indeed. They sit P6 in the championship with 6 points, ironically. Zach the Beast, he wants some points. He wants a good shot at the race tonight. He starts on hards, which is not good. That is not good at all. If you go look at the tires, the drivers had to start on the compound they went into. KP21 and Carbon were both disqualified from the Grand Prix. MewMew, Cookie, I believe, Deerhunter, Port all started on the medium. Only drivers that didn't, I believe, were John or Bailey, and I believe Phantom and Minico as well. So some of these drivers may not even be on the right compound. Yes, this is a formation lap. You are correct. Let's go through once again. John, he wants some redemption. He didn't finish in the points a week ago. Taylor did. He finished 6th. He wants to finish and beat ahead of his teammate by the end of the 28 laps. Baylor wants the same thing, but him ahead of Taylor. We'll see how the AlphaTauri team plays. They're second in the championship. Can they stay there? Minico wants a good point finish for Aston Martin. They're trying to in a direct fight against AlphaTauri, but they're also in a direct fight directly with Ferrari. 1 point separates the Aston Martin and the Ferrari team. Phantom for Alpine wants some good points. We'll see if Alpine can try to jump a couple teams. They are right now 10th in the Constructors' Championship behind Williams and Alfa Romeo and Haas. They want to not be there by the end of the 28 laps. Larson fan of the Ferrari. He started around here in the Alfa Romeo a week ago. He wants some points for the Scuderia and to show what he can do at this team. Tweaking, once again, a great showing for the Haas driver. He got 2 points a week ago. He got P8. He wants some points again. Reptile filling in for Daytona. He wants to go and give some points to Aston Martin as well. We'll see what he can do. The Aussie. Raptor on the hards and the Williams. He wants some points along with Mitchie, who's subbing in as the interim driver because Red Bull doesn't know who's going to start there. The Aussie starts 15th. Zig Starburst and the Alpine wants, once again, some Alpine points. We'll see what he can do. Wrath needs a good race. He got 14th a week ago in the Haas. That's a great finish for him. He wants to keep that streak going. One and Carbon were both disqualified. They're going to have some problems going on into lap 1. And Avi lines up 20th on the grid, reserving in the Alfa Romeo for Larson fan, who's up in 11th in the Ferrari. We'll have to figure it out as the Alfa Romeo pulls into the 20th grid spot, and the lights are now our main focus. The lights are on, and it's lights out, and away we go. And look at a great start from Deerhunter. He's already alongside the Ferrari of Bosscookie, and he's going to go ahead into turn 1. Cookie's going to sit him on the inside. He's spun around. Cookie's around. He's going to go bring Deerhunter off the track as well. That's not what the Ferrari needed. Into turn 1. Cookie's now out of contention. The Mercedes of Deerhunter is really wide, and even wider is going to be Zach the Beast. John jumps up to P2. He jumps his teammate. Look at wide. It's going to be the AlphaTauri of Bailey. Taylor's up in the podium positions. Here comes Minico into P5. He's on the softs, as well as John. Great start from those guys. Some defensive driving going into turn 6 for Port, and the McLaren around the outside looks for the AlphaTauri, but the Mercedes powered Aston Martin is going to look on the inside and around the outside of turn 7, and Minico will grab him there. And now 5-6 for AlphaTauri. Phantom up to P7. Tweaking, he's up 4 positions from the start. Great start for the Haas and a great day for him so far, but it's not so good of a day for Mercedes. They were P3 and P5. They're now 9th and 11th. This is the opposite of what happened a week ago. Larson fan splits him down the inside of turn 11, and 12 goes for Deerhunter. He splits on a Tweak. He still fights it. He's give that place up very easily. Deer's going to try to still fight that, but Larson fan is going to be at his heels. But that's going to be a spinning AlphaTauri. That's Taylor around. A lot of action has happened so far. Zach the Beast is going to be side by side with Larson fan. Ahead of him, Deerhunter. His teammate's going to be side by side with another Ferrari-powered car, but it's tweaking this time. Deerhunter gets ahead of the Haas, and Zach looks to outbrake Larson fan. Larson fan's going to outbrake himself, go around the outside of Zach. He's going to keep it there, if not even challenge the Haas. He's going to go around the outside of turn 14, now into 15. He's going to go down the inside of 15, side by side. The Haas runs a little bit wide, but he's going to keep ahead, but now has to stay behind. Zach the Beast has wing damage. He's going to pit on lap 1 from those hards. That is not a great start for Mercedes so far. Larson fan stays ahead of into turn 1, but MewMew leads John and Port, and Minico and Bailey and Phantom and Deerhunter. Larson fan tweaking Reptile, the top 10 after lap 1. Bosscookie P11, he started on the front row and lost going into turn 1. He's going to go down the inside of turn 6 of Broken Reptile. He's going to get that position sorted and done into the apex. And Zach and Carbon pitted as well. Zach goes on the mediums. Carbon goes on to the C2 hards. Some position changes. Zig goes up a position. Bosscookie down the inside and through against the Ferrari-powered car of Tweaking. He nails up into P9. His teammate, Larson Van, is the next shot and next competitor. So once again, there's a little bit more changes on the grid, but once again, you have to stay within the 1 second of the car in front for the drag reduction system, the DRS. If you want any chance of getting a part of the DRS train that is going to form in a couple of moments' time, next time by, that's going to be the biggest thing. You want to be a part of that DRS train. Right now, in the top 3, that is only John who's up there. He's on the soft compound tire, the C4, which is 1 step softer than the car in front of him, MewMew. He wants to stay in that DRS train. That'll help him, but how long will that McLaren stay there? John sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix with a 35.288. He's about a 2 seconds to be exact over his teammate, but look at that. Minico in the Aston Martin is in that DRS of the McLaren in front. DRS is enabled this lap. They're not going to be able to use it until the exit of turn 12 into the long back straightaway in the run into turn 13. That's going to be yellow flag. It looks like it may be. I am tweaking around. Looks like he is. He's now battling Zig Starburst. And in turn 2 into 3, Zig Starburst once again started P16 up 2 positions from the start. Mitchie has not gone anywhere. He's on those hards. He's going to try to stay as clean as he possibly can. Go as long down the inside looking for Zig. And the Alpine on the Haas, he's going to switch back, a little bit of contact, but the Haas is going to stay ahead in P13, ahead of Zig. Behind him, Mitchie, he's looking and lurking. The Aussie is looking to possibly get past both of these guys in one fell swoop. DRS is going to make it possible if he can stay there on those hards. The hards is going to be hard to warm up, but it's possible with the Red Bull power and pace advantage. 1.4 seconds, like I said, the DRS, it's not going to be affected this time by for John. He is too far back. The soft tires may already be wearing off. Mitchie gets past Zig Starburst for P14. The Haas is his next target. KP21 gets passed by Taylor in P11. Taylor's fighting back after that spin in turn 12. Inside port is going to be under a little bit of pressure, but right now not a lot of pressure so far. Minico is about 9/10 behind. Phantom and Deerhunter fighting it out, going into turn 14, into turn 15. The Mercedes gets ahead of the Alpine. With the Alpine will have the DRS going into turn 1. Will it be enough? The Renault power looks like it's just not good enough for the Mercedes this time by Deers up to P6. Deerhunter goes a little bit wide, so that's going to cause maybe a little bit of a change in line for him going through turn 4. And around he goes. Deerhunter snaps in the exit into the barriers. That may be damage for the rear wing of the Mercedes, and that is not what Mercedes wanted. They have crumbled under the pressure tonight. Zach in P18. Deerhunter spins off at turn 4 and 5. And now he may have some slight rear wing damage. P12, now P13 if he may. Going in not too long from now, Mitchie goes around the outside of turn 6 of KP21 in the Williams. Mitchie's now going to look for Deerhunter away past him. Deerhunter a little bit wide through 7. Compromises his line through 8. Mitchie looking for a way past. If he can get through, he is now going to be ahead of both Mercedes cars. Mercedes is not having a good night tonight. But a little bit of a train you see. Look at the Haas trying to fight past KP21, and I am tweaking. They're not sorting their battle out from a couple of laps ago. Tweaking's going to try to get past this Williams once more. I am tweaking on the mediums, KP21 on the hards. Let's see what they can do. Deerhunter is going to have a huge threat, though, with the Red Bull and Mitchie behind him. The DRS for the Red Bull. He has some battery. He's going to deploy. He's going to go in for it. And he looks to the left-hand side. Deer's going to go defensive. Braked a lot later, the Red Bull does on Deerhunter. And try to go for the switchback, the cross around, the end around, if you may. Going through into turn 14 and 15. Deerhunter's going to be not under pressure once again, but he's going to go under pressure now. Running wide, Deerhunter. Here comes the left-hand side. That's going to be Mitchie up into P11. 4 positions up from the start of the Grand Prix for him. Behind him, that's going to be KP21, and that's going to be I Am Tweaking. Going into turn 1, I Am Tweaking gets around KP21 in the Williams going into turn 1. Don't look now. Zig Starburst going to go send it at the inside of turn 2. Contact's going to be made. Looks like they keep it going through. We're on the outside of turn 3 this time. The Alpine, more contact between them and the Williams, and more contact again, some wheel banging. But it looks like I Am Tweaking gets through, and Zigzerberst follows him through the next very corner, down the outside, around the outside, contact made again, more contact side by side, and wheel banging, and contact still made on the exit. These two are not giving it up. Zigzerberst gets ahead of KP21, finally clears the Williams up into P14. Well, now 4 laps completed, 5 now on the board. MORT MewMew is about 3.1 seconds clear of the McLaren of John. Don't look now. 1.2 is the gap between Port and his teammate John. Once again on those harder compounded tire, the mediums to be exact. Larson Fan gets past Phantom for P7. Those mediums looks like they're now going to be the better tire compared to the softs. How long before we start seeing those C4 runners, the softs, into the pit lane? That's going to be the major concern, is how long can these tires last. That's going to be a penalty for supplied Raptor. Not sure when that was applied, but he's going to be applied to either to the end of his race time. I speak too soon. Phantom's now going to be in the box for the Alpine team. Most likely going to be onto the hards. The medium compounded tire for the Alpine. Phantom goes, and away he goes. Most likely will get out behind Zach the Beast in P18. Yes, he will. Right now, the closest battle on track is going to be the two teammates. The McLarens are going to be fighting it out this time by, I believe, at the straightaway not too long from here. And about a couple corners or so through 9 through 10. Port is closing in. He's on those C3s. He's on those mediums. His teammate, however, is on one step softer. His tire is going to be degraded almost past the equivalence point at this point. He's going to be probably wishing he started on those C3 tires. He got through them into Q3 on, but unfortunately he was unable to. John is now going to be trying to claw for grip, but his teammate's not going to have any remorse for it. Outside of Port, 6/10. He's going to have the DRS. He's not going to use the overtake if he doesn't have to. Looks like he does try to this time by. Now with the DRS, he's going to go look down the inside. He's not close enough. Doesn't want to force it. And yellow flag, that looks like it is Phantom off and around at turn 9. He gets back going. Not sure if he has any damage. John, will he pit this time by? No, he doesn't. He stays out for an extra lap. 6 laps being completed, 7 the next time around the strike. John is a lot more open to be overtaken this time by. He's going to look for it. He's going to be down the inside. The McLaren squabble into turn 1. And it looks like he's going to hold it around the outside, but it's just not enough grip for John and those softs. Minico is going to be the next one around him. That's going to be yellow flag going through. Not sure exactly what happened there. The Ferraris, teammates squabbling. It was McLaren's. Now it's the Ferraris. Bosscookie ahead of Larson Fan. And I believe that has been coming for a little bit of time. Behind him, it's going to be Broken Reptile in the Aston Martin. Taylor Clan up to P9. Mitchie up into the points. Something that he definitely needed. Starting on those hards is going to be a very, very long stint. But if he can get that on to maybe the softs or even the medium compounded tire, Mitchie could be looking strong towards the end of the Grand Prix. Deerhunter off into the grass. He's having a little bit of a sloppy first stint. We saw the spin. We saw the horrible start from him. Not entirely to his own accord, because of the a little bit of contact and spun and I guess have a little bit of spinning from Bosscookie in the Ferrari. Looks like here just have not been able to recover as much as the Ferrari of Bosscookie could. P11 right now on those mediums. Behind him, I am tweaking 4.4 seconds back. He's qualified 12th. He had an up and down start, got him up to 8th at one point. But once again, it just looks like the pace of the Haas is getting to claw back at him. P12 once more. He has not lost any positions. Speaking of positions lost, that is going to be one to the Williams of KP21. Zach the Beast gets past him, I believe, at the exit of turn 10 into turn 11. Mercedes trying to claw back. He had an issue on lap 1, just like his teammate Deer did, and pitted for the medium. Speaking of pitting, John is in the McLaren. He's going to go in for the C2 tires and the hards. He's going to go to the end of the Grand Prix and try for it. That's going to be 22 laps on those C2s. I think it's doable. So that makes it a couple of drivers on those hards. Mitchie is going to be the highest one on old hards, but he does not have to use those once on his the newest hards, so he's going to be the highest driver that has completed a stop. Everyone is on the mediums except for the lowly soft runner. That's going to be Minico. He's going to have a lot of time lost due to the undercut. If you do not know what undercut is, it is when you pit a little bit earlier than the driver you're battling to make sure you have used the fresher tires that you got from the pit stop to run faster laps than the driver you're trying to compete against, who has the older tires, the worn tires, the drivers is trying to slide all across with, because his rubber is not fully intact anymore. It is beyond repair. And that's going to be something that we watch out for. John. Will Minico come in this time by and try to cover off that McLaren? He was behind his teammate inside of port. He's now lost about 4.7, 4.8 seconds to be exact. That McLaren seems to just gone away into the distance. No more visual for that Aston Martin on the 1.2 kilometer pit straight. Zach the Beast goes past Zig Zarburst on the exit of turn 10 into turn 11. That little short shoot straight's been great for him, and overtaking Minico does come in. Unlike his teammate in qualifying, Minico does avoid the barrier. Bailey goes up into the podium places like he was a couple times a week ago in that Alpha Tauri. We'll see. Will this be the final day where he grabs that podium? The hard compound tires on for the Aston Martin, and that's going to be pitting for Deerhunter as well. A little bit of an early stop, I think. And the undercut does work, but how much does it work by? It was about 5 seconds, I think, or so. Going to be going into turn 3, about 4.5. So it has lost a little bit of time, but not too significant. The Aston Martin has a little bit of time to gain on John. Can it be doable? Phantom goes past both Avi and Deerhunter. Deerhunter pitting once again down to P18 onto the hards for the round and the rest of the Grand Prix. That is going to be pretty much detrimental, is how can he recover and recuperate himself for this final stint. If he can try to recuperate himself and gain those positions back like he did a week ago. Remember, he went from 11th to 2nd, but that was with a little bit of help of a safety car. Maybe we'll have one today. We'll never know. Phantom gets past Wrath. That's going to be Mitchie around exit of turn 10. That is not what the Rrd Bull team needed. Mitchie was making some good progress on those hards. Looks like no damage. He gets back going. He only lost one spot. Minico, I believe actually he lost another one to John, but he's only lost a couple spots. He was not racing against those two drivers anyway. Zach the Beast, he's now on to the back of Tweaking in the Haas. A little bit of a reverse line. Tweaking goes a little bit wide on the exit. Tweaking is going to have the DRS from Mitchie, but that's not going to stop Zach the Beast from going down to the right-hand side of the Haas driver like his teammate did a couple laps ago and gets past. Will Zach get close enough for Mitchie? He's going to look for it. He's not close enough. 3-second time penalty for Broken Reptile. I also saw that BRL Phantom had a 3-second time penalty applied as well. Reptile may have gotten that time penalty in the pit lane, which is not good. That's actually Minico up a place as well. So another medium set on for Broken Reptile. That is a fresh medium indeed. So it looks like a 2-stop strategy for the Aston Martin. He has to pit one more time. He has to use 2 of the 3 compounds available. He's started on mediums. He's gone one more set of medium. He has to use either the C4 or the C2 tire for the rest of the Grand Prix and his third and final stint. Behind him, BRL Phantom in the Alpine, which is a good recovery for Phantom. Broken Reptile pitted once again, but Phantom had that spin, so the fact he's even close within 9/10 is pretty good for his race. Bailey 7 seconds behind Port, 7 seconds behind the leader. MewMew has so far led from start to finish. He's looking to pretty much show his dominance once again like he did a week ago in Bahrain here in China and extend his championship gap. At the moment, Port will grab 18 points, Bailey will grab 15 points, Cookie will grab 14, so that'll put Bailey just a little bit behind. Yellow flag, that's actually a Haas. I believe that is going to be Wrathful around and front wing lost. So that is going to be a trip to the pit lane for the Haas. He was on those on those hards for 9 laps. He pitted on lap 2. That is going to be another wing change if the first one did occur. And probably going to be on a set of mediums to be exact. The closest fight on track is going to be Broken Reptile and KP21. Let's go tune into that fight between the Williams and the Alpine. Deerhunter gets past Avi for P16. Phantom and Reptile is now closer to the Williams and the Alpine, so we're going to have a 3-way battle for 13th. Reptile is on those fresh mediums, so he should pull away a little bit easier. Then the likes of AP21's hards and Phantoms, a little bit used mediums, about 4 laps to be exact. Tire wear is a little easier here. That's a yellow flag. That may be Avi around. As Phantom pulls a little bit of a dummy on KP21. Now it's Carbon around. In P20, he is lost it, but he got back going. I believe that is going to be lapped from MewMew, if I'm not mistaken. Phantom goes up to P14. Wrathful does indeed pit in the Haas. Yes, it was MewMew going through turn 13 into 14. He's 8.5 seconds ahead of his nearest rival in unsighted port. When will we start to see these medium runners in? It's possible to go from a medium to soft. So when will these drivers make that happen? Yellow flag again. It looks like it may be Carbon going into the pit lane. Yes, it is. I'm not sure if that was actually caused by him or if it was the game itself. Wrathful coming out of the pit lane. The closest battle on track, once again, is going to be 1.4 seconds. KP21 and Phantom. Let's go look at that once again. And 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings that will be applied to the end of his lap time. Taylor Clan, but he is also coming to the pit, so that may be reviewed and taken away. Phantom's gotten a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings as well. So that's going to be one thing that these drivers have to work out for and worry for, is these time penalties. As long as they can avoid and stay on the track, the time penalties will not affect them at all. Some drivers have had that harshness come down on them already. Broken Reptile to be exact, Taylor Clan to be exact. 2 of them I know have gone into the pit lane and probably crossed that white line, causing them to grab a time penalty for cutting the track. Some drivers have probably also had that encounter, but that was their first and only warning, so we'll have to see if a lot of these penalties gets taken away because of the stewards after the race. So tune in to that. And if you're in the Breakout Racing League Discord, you can see that whenever the tiers and the steward incidents are completed in the stewards, portal, so to speak. Deerhunter gets past KP21 for 15th place. Deerhunter on that charge. He started the stint in 18th. He's going to try to fight back to the best of his ability. The top 5 has yet to stop, all in 11 to 12 lap old mediums, with VRA John and Minico both in 6th and 7th respectively on those hards. Those are the first ones yet to stop. And behind them, Zach the Beast yet to stop ever since the beginning of these mediums. That's going to be Bailey in the AlphaTauri garage. 11 laps done on his mediums. We could see the pit window open up now for some of these drivers. Bailey in the AlphaTauri garage do not trust the medium to soft. They have put on the C2 hards to the end of the Grand Prix. Actually not that far behind the Aston Martin of Minico, so that's actually a great stint so far for the AlphaTauri. So you see Carbon, who is a back marker, getting lapped by the Aston Martin of Minico. So Minico now has to worry about Bailey in the AlphaTauri, who some have said that is the rival of the Aston Martin, the AlphaTauri is. We'll see how true that is when I have our first test of these two battling on track. If you do recall, a season ago in Tier 2, these two battled for the first time at China. I guess it's only fitting that they do it again. Actually, no, it was not Minico. It was his teammate DXD. But once again, it's still fitting that Bailey's first test, I guess, against a quote-unquote rival that some have been claiming so far throughout the week, it does come at China, like the first time he had that challenge a season ago in Equal Tier and Breakout Racing League. John is about 5 seconds ahead of Minico, so he does actually gain a bit of time. His teammate Port has just gone into the box as well, so we'll see what the McLaren can do. Way too early for a soft stint. So he will go on the hards as well. A lot of these guys not trusting that medium to soft that has been proclaimed to have made. So a lot of these guys are not trying to have to worry about those C4 tires. A lot of these guys proved in the first stint they didn't last as long as they thought they would. So they're going to stay off of yellow flag. Final, that's turn 13. It may be Phantom around again in the Alpine. That's not what Alpine needed once more. Larson fan boxes onto the hards as well. Mitchie goes past in P8. Zach the Beast now up to P7. This is once again a pretty unfortunate race that has been kind of thrown away for Mercedes. They needed a really good race, and they had a really good chance through P3 and P5 on qualifying through Q3. That's the first time this season both Mercedes have gotten into qualifying 3, and the shootout, that's another yellow flag that looks like actually is an Aston Martin that's broken Reptile around. He gets back going, but like I said, it was not so far a great race for Mercedes. I mean, it's been quite the opposite, in fact. Deerhunter started P3, Zach the Beast started P5, and within the first lap, they were 9th and 11th, respectively. That is pretty much the opposite of what happened a week ago, where Deerhunter went from P11 to P7, I think it was, by the end of lap 1. So Mercedes and first laps do not seem to get along, because if you recall, Zach the Beast started second and ended up outside the top 10 by the end of lap 1 as well. So that's one thing that they probably have to get down as that first laps. Is if you don't remember, if you actually are not informed as well, the team principal of Mercedes-AMG Petronas Motorsport, that would be BRL Neymar. He went to his driver, Zach the Beast, after the Grand Prix and forced him. He told him to do 250 race starts to try to combat and, I guess, minimize the time lost to starts. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to work out due to the issues so far in the turn 1 nature of this complex. Well, let's go look at this, though. Here comes Bailey. He has closed in pretty rapidly on the Aston Martin in front, now within about a half a second of that Aston Martin. Bailey in the AlphaTauri trying his best to get past into P5. This will be a good day so far if he can. Remember, Minico was P5. I'm sorry. Yeah, he was P4 before the pit stop window. Bosscookie is yet to stop. He's 22.3 seconds behind MORT MewMew. So MewMew could actually pit and come out in front of Bosscookie, who is 10 seconds ahead of Port. So MewMew could actually have a clear gap. So it's interesting to see when Rrd Bull will pull the trigger on their driver in the lead right now. Their other driver, Michi, is 1.3 behind the Mercedes of Zach the Beast. So when is that Mercedes tires going to fall off? We'll see when he is going to come in as well. His teammate Deerhunter is up to P11, almost in the points again. Minico breaking the toe in the slipstream on the back straightaway. He has the DRS. He's going to be on the button. Bailey is. He's going to the left-hand side. Cookie's been given a 3-second time penalty. He has not gone in the box this time. Bailey's going to go around the outside. Later on the brakes for the Aston Martin. Around the outside once again, though. He's going to try for it around 13 and 14. He's going to have to go and avoid that chance. But going into turn 15, he's going to have one more. Going into turn 1, he's going to have an even bigger one. With the button again, with the DRS, he's going to go defensive all the way to the right-hand side to the pit wall. Zach the Beast pits this time by. He has indeed to would almost contact, but it was tight, but not close enough. Bailey goes up into P5, takes that position away from the Aston Martin. These two were teammates a season ago in Tier 2. Well, now they're not. Bailey goes ahead of Minico in the AlphaTauri. Going to chase down John. 4.3 seconds. They have gained about 7/10 on that McLaren in the last couple of laps. We'll see what that happens then. Michi goes off the mediums. Off the hards onto the mediums for the end of the Grand Prix. That's probably going to be final. Zach the Beast goes on another set of mediums. He can do that. He started on the hard compounded tire. He has definitely gotten all he needed, all the requirements of the 2/3 tire rule. Well, we'll see what he can do to the end of the Grand Prix. Deer's up to P9. Zach's in P11. These guys swapped their places from the end of lap 1. Yellow flag once again. That looks like a Ferrari around Larson fan. The entrance of turn 9, the exit of turn 8. That is not what he needed. He's been on those tires one lap. Looks like he may not have damage. Not sure to be exact. He may have rear wing damage if he did collide with that barrier. Doesn't look like he has, though. MewMew has finally come in to stop in the Rrd Bull. He's gone on to the hard compounded tire. Like I said, he had that gap to Bosscookie, and he's going to maintain it. He's going to be P1 so far. If he does manage to do this, he'll lead lights to flag. Well, now he's going to be a little bit closer. Bosscookie is on those mediums for 16 laps. He's going to, so far, try to stretch it. Maybe he's going to try to go into those softs, see how that works out. Well, he's 8.9 ahead of Port, and if he can stretch it as long as he possibly can, go on those soft compounded tires, we can go about 6-7 laps or so. We saw from the first stint, like, for example, Minico went about 7-8 laps on those tires and didn't lose that much pace. We could see Bosscookie in the Ferrari, that scarlet red car, go on to the scarlet red tires for the final stint of the Grand Prix. Like I said in qualifying, red in China is it's a virtue of happiness. It is kind of a symbol. Very symbolistic, the Chinese are. We'll see how that symbolistic red car can do in that final stint. Will it be a very happy cookie we talk to? Will it even be a cookie we talk to at all at the end of the podium, at the end of the race? Because if you do not know, we do interview the top 3 podium drivers here in the Breakout Racing League at the end of each Grand Prix. Who will those 3 drivers be? MewMew definitely seems like he will be one. He's already gapped Bosscookie about 1.9 seconds, and he is ahead safely into the lead once again on that final stint onto the hard compound tire. He has about 12 laps or so to go and bring that car into the final, the first position in Parc Ferme. Behind them, we have a little bit of equal distribution. John 8 seconds behind Port, who's 8 seconds behind Bosscookie. But by the time Bosscookie comes in to stop, he is yet to stop off of those medium compound tires, he will be about 10 seconds or so behind that Rrd Bull. So Aston Port's going to have a big journey to get to, but it may not be all so easy for his teammate John. This looks like it may be the battle for the podium if it does stand. John 8 seconds behind Port. Port is pretty much safe. He's now gained a bit on Bosscookie in the Ferrari, 7.8 to be exact, but Bailey has gained significantly. If you don't remember, it was 4.3 whenever Bailey was cleared of the Aston Martin and Minico a couple laps ago. Now it's 3.4, about 0.8 of a second has been improved. Wrathful, or I believe it may be tweaking, has spun around in the exit of turn 13. Turn 12. It looks like he's got back going, regardless of who it was. It may have been Wrathful. No, it looks like it was tweaking, based on who he was around. That is correct, because Wrathful was actually behind Bailey and Minico in turn 9 now. So, once again, 3.3. He's gained about a 10th or so, now kind of falling back a bit after a poor exit through turn 10. Bailey's got a charge for that, P3. He got P4 a week ago, and look at that. Taylor and Minico, those are the guys who finished directly behind Bailey last week. It was P4 for Bailey, P5 Minico, P6 Taylor. That's what got AlphaTauri to second in the Constructors' Championship. Right now, those 3 have seemed to be inseparable over the past 2 rounds, 5th, 6th, 7th so far. They have a long way to go if they want to try to get 4th, 5th, and 6th like they did a week ago. That means John will just have to completely disappear. Or it could be, actually, Bosscookie, who is yet to stop once again. 5.6 seconds the gap between himself and the Rrd Bull. He's actually yet to stop. Like I said, he's going to try to go for that soft stint in the final time. That could definitely promote those guys up. They're going to Port to P2, John P3, Bailey, Minico, Taylor, 4th, 5th, 6th, like it was a week ago. But Taylor and those guys also have a little bit of a buffer to Larson Fan, who he doesn't have much of a buffer at all to Deerhunter. Deerhunter has now gotten in. Half a second is the gap between himself and the Mercedes driver. Deerhunter's fighting back. He got 18th at the beginning of this stint. He's now going to try to get his P8, which is definitely some good points. He got not going to be even close to that P2 he got a week ago, but it looks like he's going to take what he can get. Because Deerhunter has a little bit of a gap to his teammate, 6.2 seconds gap to Zach and the other Mercedes, so it's going to be a good double finish for Mercedes if they can get it, but it's only 3 points. That's not what this top team needs in their battle against Rrd Bull. Right now, as it stands, Rrd Bull will gain another 25 points, which will put them at 50. 51 points, because the fastest lap right now goes to that Rrd Bull of MewMew, but Mercedes will only gain 3. That'll put them at 21, putting them 30 points behind through 2 rounds. That is not what and that's only one driver. Mitchie, unfortunately, is right now behind them by 2.5 seconds or so. Same lap old tires as Zach the Beast in the Mercedes as well. So if Cookie were to pit, which he does exactly now, where will he be? It may be behind Minico. It's going to be close between him and Minico. Looks like he's going to hold on. Cookie's going to stay ahead of that Aston Martin. So he's going to be 5th for Bosscookie. So right now that's going to be pretty hard to fight off for Bailey. 3.4 seconds, but it's going to be 9 laps for this Ferrari on these softs. Can they last that long? How hard will the hards have to stay up? But how hard will he push these softs is going to be how detrimental his tires will be at the end of the Grand Prix. Phantom gets past his teammate Zig for 13th. The Alpines up a couple positions. Zig is down a couple positions. Phantom is, but he needs to try to fight back. He's 18 seconds behind Reptile in the other Aston Martin. Looks like that may be his ceiling for today. Yellow flags, Sector 1. That may be Larson Fan. No, actually, I think it is Avi. We've not seen much from him today. He's had a kind of silent race. It's not Avi. It may be Carbon. But Zig gets past Phantom again, battling those two, going through into turn 2 and 3. Zig probably went down the inside of turn 2 again. He did that a couple times. We saw that, I believe, with I Am Tweaking and KP21 when he made that move going into turn 3. Looks like these two are going to fight it once again. Phantom's going to be on that button. No, he's not. He's going to go down to the turn 1. Almost contact between the Alpines. Now there is contact between the Alpines. A little bit of barging going into turn 6. Phantom gets ahead of Zig. Only for a moment, though. Looks like he's going to hold on into 6 and 7. Now into turn 8. How much damage is going to be apparent on Zig? There was a little bit of contact between that left front tire of Phantom and that right front end plate of Zigstar. So is that going to be apparent at all? Is there any damage to that Alpine? Looks like he gapped a ton. 1.5 seconds on those 3 corners. It may be a little damage. But like I said up front, some of these guys may have a little bit of a difficulty at the moment. Bosscookie may actually grab this fastest lap here. We go look at that for a second. As so far the penalties, we'll go look at that now. Cookie has a 3-second. Taylor and Deer both have 3 seconds, which is detrimental to Deer's race. That will put him behind Larson Fan, who he just got past, by the way, up into 8th. He now has to fight after Taylor. 7.1 seconds separates the Mercedes and the Alfa Romeo, I'm sorry, the Alpha Tauri. But 6 seconds to Phantom. That'll put him behind not only Zig Starburst, but Avi in 15th. And Reptile also has a 3-second. Let's go look at that fastest lap I spoke of a second ago. Excuse me. 34.2 is the fastest lap at the moment. A 35.9 is Cookie's, but Cookie is going to be on that charge. He has those soft compounded tire. He's going to have the DRS on Bailey right now. So it's going to be, it's got the leader doing that now. Bailey's going to have that DRS. He's going to break the toe, but it's going to be the DRS, the ERS, the softer tire advantage, and it's going to be that Ferrari power down the inside and clear of Bailey's Alpha Tauri going into turn 13 and 14. That's going to be Cookie up to 4th. So how close can Bailey hold on to that Ferrari before his tires start wearing out? Carbon comes into the pits again for the Alpha Romeo. He's 2 laps down, and he's been given a 3-second time penalty. I believe that is for crossing the white lines, and that is the fastest lap at the Grand Prix, 33.6. That's going to be pretty difficult to beat for Bosscookie's Ferrari and the Ferrari team, which is good for them. They've gotten so far 12 points, and plus that fastest lap, 13, plus 2 for Larson Fan, who's actually just been given a 3-second time penalty. That's quite coincidental. That is a yellow flag. That may be a Rrd Bull. That is Rrd Bull. That is MewMew's been around at turn 9. Looks like there is no damage to his Rrd Bull car, but there's 15 seconds the gap between himself and Unsighted Port, which is going to be cut down exponentially. That is 6.9, 5.9. That's going to be a huge gap cut between him and Port. Plus, those tires may be a little bit overheated now. He has to kind of back off, try to save those tires, make sure they cannot get overheated again, especially through turn 13, which we saw him spin in qualifying. So that's going to hurt his chance for even getting a safe win, and maybe even that final pit stop if he was going for it. He could have probably pitted if he kept increasing his gap for fastest lap later on. That is now 5 seconds dead almost between him and Unsighted Port. 10 seconds to John. Speaking of John, he now has a scarlet red car behind him. Cookie's on a charge. He's one from second on the front row. He was on the front row. He was down to last by the end of turn 1. Well, now he's up to 3rd in the podium spots on merit. Cookie's going for this. He is 9.9, 10 seconds to be exact, to go chase after Unsighted Port. But will it last? Will those softs hold on? It looks like there's going to be just enough tire. But at the end of that race, he has about 5-6 laps to go chase after Cookie, Unsighted Port, and the McLaren. So Cookie, can he do it? That's going to be a big thing. And Bailey, he's actually caught expeditiously to John and the McLaren as well. So Bailey could actually grab P4 again like he did a week ago and increase his points tally to 24 points, which with that being said would be about 2 points clear of Deerhunter, who right now has 4 points to his name. Zach the Beast has 1. He's going to have on that charge, though. Larson Fan is not safe anymore from Zach the Beast. He had a little bit of a 2-second buffer. Well, not much anymore. Zach the Beast is going to try to go and redeem himself. And like I said, Merck has not had the 2 Grand Prix that they hoped for. We'll see if they can try to rebound next time out in Portimao. That's going to be a big race to go tune into if you haven't known already. Portimao has been released in the F1 2021 game, and that is going to be the next stop for the Breakout Racing League, especially in realistic. That's going to be next week this time at, I believe, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern, I believe, and that will be exactly the first test of what Portimao can do with these realistic performance cars in 2021. Reptile pits for the soft compounded tire. Avi has pitted as well for the soft compounded tire. I'm guessing speeding the pit lane 5 seconds. That is not good for the Alfa Romeo. He's gone up 4 positions after the crash in qualifying. Excuse me. That is a 3-second time penalty for Michi in the Red Bull. That is also not very good for his race as well. As it's not going to change much. 31 seconds is the gap between him and Phantom. So that is not going to really affect much. Zach the Beast, though, he's within a couple tenths of Larson Fan. He's going to go to the right-hand side. He's going to weave in the straight line, breaking that toe and make sure there's not even a chance. Larson Fan grabs that toe going into turn 13 and 14, and Zach's up to P9. 5.3 seconds separates him and his teammate. Can he get there? A little bit of a drive-at squabble. Both drivers are equal. There's not many teams that have a set driver pairing. Right now, MewMew is the only contracted driver for Rrd Bull, so right now he is technically the contracted first driver like he was a week ago. But another team that has a contracted 1-2 system is Haas, with Wrathful being second, I Am Tweaking being first, but that is all to play for the rest of these guys. Merc is not even close. Merc needs to try to figure out who has that 1-2 pairing if they want even to try, because they would have drivers taking points after each other. Will they even have a 1-2 pairing? We'll have to know. But regardless, a driver wants to feel superior to his teammate in the same car. That's going to be 3 seconds. That is not good. Port is within a tenth. And on side-by-side, if not even pass, he's ahead of the Red Bull. Where did Port come from? Those 15 seconds have gone and went. MewMew's going to go down the inside again into turn 13. Late braking for the Red Bull. Contact with the side pod. Squeezing him off. Still on that side pod. The McLaren's still going for it. If you take recall, still side-by-side going through. He's going to hold on. MewMew is this time by. He's going to fight back his points. He has the 3-second time penalty now, which is going to be detrimental to his fight with unsighted Port, who now takes the lead of the race. Taylor's gotten past Minico, so now both Alpha Tauris are going to be ahead. Minico gets right past Taylor Clan again. 3 laps is going to be the tire detrimental gap between the Alpha Tauri and the Aston Martin, but this is going to be huge between Unsighted Port and MewMew. MewMew now has a 3-second time penalty, and his tires are 3 laps younger. So how did Port get not only those 5 seconds, but up and past them? So that is going to be a mistake happened for the Red Bull. What happened there? So the McLaren is now going to be leading the Grand Prix. It's going to be the first time someone other than MewMew has led. Is there any damage for that Red Bull? Because it looks like he lifted a little bit more than he has the rest of the Grand Prix through 7. He's now 1.6, 1.7 back from the McLaren. Could we see a shock McLaren victory here at China tonight? Well, don't look now, but Cookie's still charging. 3.8 seconds the gap between him and MewMew, and if MewMew's struggling, 2.1 seconds. MewMew has something wrong. He has something extremely wrong right now. So, we'll see how that plays out. Cookie's going to go try to charge after MewMew, who has a detrimental problem, 2.5 seconds. Now behind Unsighted Port, so not only is Port going to lead this race, he could possibly win this race. And that is something we did not think about 5 or 6 laps ago when he was 15 or 16 seconds behind the leader in MewMew. So that's not going to play out. MewMew, his teammate in the sister team, Bailey and Taylor, their fight going on. Taylor's gotten past Minico again. They fought back and forth the last lap and a half or so. Yellow flag, that's going to be a car around. Is that Cookie? No, it's not. It looks like it may be Carbon in the Alfa Romeo. Is that true? Yes, it is. It's the Alfa Romeo of Carbon. Let's go back to the Aston Martin of Minico. 7:10 separates him and Taylor in the Alfa Romeo. I'm sorry, the Alfa Tauri. There is a chance he may not be on the podium. You're right. Taylor's going to go a little bit wide and kind of cut in through turn 2, trying to get a better run into turn 3, which he does. Minico 0.6 of a second behind. He's going to be on that DRS. Those 3 laps may be the thing that is separating Taylor and Minico right now when it comes to their gap. 1.7 seconds. Bailey's gained even more on that McLaren, so we could have a fight for P4 here between John and Bailey, but we're going to have a fight between P3 here between Cookie and MewMew for P2. What has happened to the Red Bull? So from pole, leading almost 25 consecutive laps, both have penalties. Now Cookie with the soft compound tire, that is going to hurt MewMew even more with the DRS, with the ERS, with the DRS assisted tow to the right-hand side. MewMew is going to go for it around and try to go late braking. Cookie brakes just about as late. Side by side, the Ferrari and the Red Bull, like they were a couple years ago. They're going to try for it through 15. They're going to still go side by side. Cookie's going to yield the place, a little bit of contact. MewMew runs a little wide. DRS again for the Ferrari. Yellow flag again. That looks like an Williams off and out. Supply Raptors out of the race. Yellow flag, sector 3. Look at Cookie down the inside like he was in lap 1. This time he makes it stick. He goes up into P2. What has happened for this race? It's turned completely upside down. We've now lost Supply Raptor and the Williams. He's out at turn 12. About a couple laps away from the finish with the penultimate lap. Now arose 5.5 seconds, the gap between Port and Cookie. What has happened to MewMew? Is there damage? Is there some kind of physical problem with that Red Bull? But regardless, he is no longer leading. There's a chance he may not even be on the podium. That is true. When he was 15 seconds in front, MewMew did spin. Did he have any damage? Did he have any curb or floor, underbody, or side pod? Did he have any damage, period? We'll never know. We'll have to figure that one out. 1.1 second separates John and Bailey. But don't look now. 1.3 separates John and MewMew. We could even not have a Red Bull on the podium at all. Like I said at the beginning of this race, we could have no top teams on the podium. It looks like that's looking that way now. As Unsighted Port's going to go into turn 13, clear some back marker cars. On his day back, a week ago, he couldn't attend the race. Well, now, a week later, he's leading the race. We're now going to go on to the final lap here in China. As you see, both Haas's, Wrathful and Tweaking, both are blue flag backmarker cars. Don't worry about them. Unsighted Port leads Bosscookie, who's 5.8 seconds in front. MewMew leads John and Bailey, and this is the battle for the podium. We have one lap, 15 corners, my bad, to figure out exactly who's going to be on this third and final step. I think Cookie has a lock. Port should be a lock. We'll see who comes around turn 15 in P3 in a couple minutes' time. Was it going to be MewMew? What has happened to him? He's now 8/10 separating him and John. Bailey's almost within DRS range as well. We could have a 3-car train going into the backstretch into turn 13. It could be all who has the latest amount of brakes. MewMew's going to try for it. Deerhunter's gotten past Minico for P7. That's going to be a great recovery for Deerhunter. He's going to be 6 points to his name. But look at this. John's close. He's there. MewMew actually gets on the curb a little bit. That's a horrible corner for the Red Bull. This is not what he needed at all. Plus the 3-second time penalty. He's not going to be on the podium. That's going to be back through. Look at this. MewMew left the position to John and Bailey, not giving DRS to John. This is a sister team order. Look at this. Look at what happened here. The mind games, the player games, the system. What? That is incredible. John now has to defend for his life. One straightaway. 1.29 is the amount left. DRS, slipstream, tow. Who has the better brakes? Who has the later brakes? Down the inside into turn 13. That's going to be John. There's no time left. Around the final corner he goes. Unsighted Port will win the Chinese Grand Prix here in BRL Realistic. Cookie goes from last on lap 1 to second. John is going to come across to grab P2 because of the time penalty from Bosscookie. It is a McLaren 1-2 like it was in Monza. For the second week in a row, it is Bailey in P4. MewMew and the Red Bull led 25 laps. He led over 70% of this race. Has come out in P5. Taylor and the AlphaTauri, like it was a week ago, he finishes P6 for the second time running. Minico and the Aston Martin, what could have been, he finishes P7. He got past Deerhunter at the last possible chance due to his penalty. Deerhunter and Zach, what has happened to Mercedes once again? Not the race they needed. P8 and 9. Mitchie from P15 on the reverse strategy. He grabs points at the end. He grabs 1 point for Red Bull and the first non-driver point. For the first point from a non-driver named MewMew. Larson fan finishes P11, also close 3/10. The gap between him and the Rrd Bull of Michi. Broken Reptile grabs P12, Phantom P13. No points for Alpine this time by. Once again, they are behind Haas and Alfa Romeo like they were a week ago. Good finish, though, from both Alpine. Zig Starburst up a couple positions, 2 to be exact. He finishes P14. Tweaking, he finishes going to be P15 in a race that was not really to his favor. Wrathful finishes right behind him in a Haas formation, and that is going to be concluding our stream here from the track here at China. McLaren, they have met a team that has won a couple times. And realistic, if you do recall, Chandler did it at Spa a season ago. Well, the first time. This time it is in round 2. We didn't have to wait very long at all. McLaren, then, that has been a team that has been needing of a win in a long time, both in real life Formula 1 and in realistic. They had a pretty poor race a week ago in Bahrain. Well, they recovered. 1-2, unsighted port ahead of John, and that is a race that they both needed. Cookie finishes P3. He was last by the opening lap, much less turn 1. He spun on the opening corner. Bailey finishes P4. MewMew finishes P5 after leading 75% of the race. What has happened to that Rrd Bull? Taylor in the Alpha Tauri. He's getting P6 once again. Minico P7. Deer Zach P8 and 9. Mercedes needs to get on a streak. Will that start at Portimao? Mitchie finishes P10, the last point paying position. Cookie got the fastest lap. Larson fan finishes P11, splits the Aussies. Broken Reptile 12th, Phantom P13, Zig and P14, both Tweaking KP21, Avi, Wrathful, Carbon, and we've lost Supply Raptor with a couple laps remaining. Hello. Alrighty, hopefully there's everyone in here. I believe John needs to get the invite in. Once he does, whenever I come to you, please make sure you do include your audio, as you will not be heard from the stream if you do not. Hopefully that option is still available, because I'm not sure if it actually is, because we've had that problem in the past. Grab to the showroom, and we will be getting the interviews underway here for round 2 of the Breakout Racing League realistic tier here at China for the Shanghai International Circuit and the Chinese Grand Prix. If you were just tuning in, you missed a heck of a show. It was one that is honestly been turned on its head very, very quickly, and I'm still not even fully aware of what happened. Let's go to P3 then. Bosscookie. I know it probably is going to be reviewed, because I think you may have gotten from entering the pit lane. Am I wrong with that?
I don't think I did, no.
Okay. Well, regardless, it's still P3 due to a penalty, but it was one that was well-deserved, if I've ever seen it. From last in turn 1, spinning out on the exit, I believe on the side pod. I'm not sure if it was from yourself or from that curb on the apex of turn 1, but you were P20 by the end of lap 1, turn 1, to be exact. But now you're sitting here on the podium. Did you expect that to happen?
No, not really. I realized I had really good pace on the hards, and I was catching Bailey by like 5-6 tenths a lap. I was just really happy that I cleared the lap traffic really quickly. I made some really nice. Yeah, I was not expecting a podium today. No. After turn 1, I just kind of understeered into Deer. That wasn't really.
Well, regardless of whose fault it was still one amazing race from yourself. You're now the second driver. Actually, you're the only driver that has gone on the podium in both races so far. Like a week ago, it was yourself. Now, once again, you finished on the podium, ironically, in 3rd position again. So that's going to probably put you a decent place in the championship. Now going to be 30 points, actually, plus that one fastest lap point, 31 points to your name. The Ferrari has that downforce at a track that is going to be extremely undulating and extremely elevation sensitive. Do you think that Ferrari has a chance to come take home a victory, if not another podium, third in a row, next week in Portimao?
Oh yeah, I think I've never driven the track, but I think it should be okay. It has a long straight, so that might not be the best, considering I'm topping out like 5-6 miles an hour lower than the Merc-powered cars. But now the Ferrari is really good. I like it. In race term, it's really fast. It's probably the third fastest car out there. But yeah, no, it was a really good race. I don't know if I'm expecting a podium, because maybe the top two teams will get their shit together in Portimao. But if not, I think that's a good possibility. But yeah, I think it was the alternate strat that got me the podium today.
Well, if you intended on that alternate strat or not, regardless, it still benefited your team a ton. A new possibility and a better possibility. We'll see how that plays out in Portimao for Ferrari. Once again, congratulations on your podium, and congratulations to the team in Scuderia Ferrari. Let's move on to P2. Was in Monza a week ago in real-life Formula 1. Now we have a 1-2 in the real. Let's go to VRA John. John, make sure your box is clicked. P2 on the road. You qualified 5, I believe 6. I believe 6 it was, or 6th place it was. And that was definitely a huge turnaround from a week ago. P14 plus the fastest lap to grab that point because of it. So your first points finish comes in your second Grand Prix, but it's also your. I bet that's something you didn't expect.
Yeah, with pretty much almost no practice for me, because obviously real life stuff. So yeah, I thought happy with points anyway. First race I had, which was just we don't talk about that. But I would have laughed at myself if I told myself, oh yeah, you would have finished P2 in that you've done like no practice in and you don't have any confidence in. So yeah, and then obviously Cookie ran out of fuel like right before the line. I'm like, oh, I'll get third. I'm pretty happy with that. And then all of a sudden I see second with like a 10th up. I'm like, okay, I'll take it. So yeah, I mean, I'm really happy about it.
Well, I was actually not aware of the Ferrari running out of fuel going to the line, so there you have that. But yourself and McLaren, the papaya orange car powered by Mercedes, that's definitely been a huge increase. You had Kieran score some points a week ago in Bahrain for the reserving for the team and reserving for the man who actually won this race. Well, you've actually had a huge step up. Once, like you said, you didn't expect it, but that's something that still is going to be in the record books. P2 in the McLaren, a 1-2 to be exact. Now going on to Portimao, that's going to be a race that, once again, like I said to Cookie, it is high undulation and elevation sensitive. Do you think the McLaren has a shot to go and replicate what you did tonight, 1-2, even if it's the other way around? Do you think it's possible that the Papaya Orange can go to the McLaren and another 1-2 again in the podiums for next week?
Yeah, I can see it. I mean, obviously, long now. The key thing is just not spinning, not trying to burn your tires so much, because obviously I've done qualifying there. I've done a lot of laps around there, but I haven't done an actual race and stuff like that. So I think really, and I really think, to put a bold statement I'm going to say here, I think anybody could win that race because of how unpredictable the car could be, like after all like the elevation and stuff like that. Like even the best can spin. So who knows with that race?
Well, regardless, if what happens next week, it's going to be a party like Cookie. One that is going to be welcomed for all teams and a new possibility for that works out in the racing and realistic. So once again, congratulations to your team and to you on the P2 on the track due to the penalty from Cookie. Let's go over to our race winner. Like I said, a week ago, you weren't even here. You had a reserve, actually you did, the team principal of McLaren, Kieran Evans, going into your seat and scoring some points, 6 points to be exact, putting you 6th in the Constructors' Championship. Well, I guarantee you that's not going to stay the same after tonight. On side report, you got what was it? P2? No.
P4.
P4. Thank you. I'm
P4.
glad someone has a memory. P4 to P, about 5 or 6 laps to go. You saw that gap from 15 seconds between yourself and MewMew go down to 5. What were you thinking in that moment? Did you think that championship possibility of maybe even winning this race was on the cards?
Not gonna lie, I did not notice that I caught him until I literally put my eyes on him, and the gap was only a little over a second. I thought he was just another back marker. Yeah, it was kind of funny. But I'm glad I backed up all the track. No, glad the tops didn't show up. I mean, they were present, but you know, yeah, I'm excited to see how this season is gonna go.
Well, the season has started. Already been a heck of a great one. We had an amazing race in Bahrain with a lot of problems and a lot of successes for some teams, and a lot of successes happened here again for some of the midfield teams. McLaren won 2, Ferrari P3. Where was Mercedes? Rrd Bull with a possible missed chance of a win. What happened with these guys? So now going into Portimao, you can't always expect these things to happen again. What do you think these McLaren guys, yourself and John, will be in replace, or I guess in relegation to everyone else on the grid? Because obviously yourself and him are fast. You're a fast pairing, and that is something that is going to be tough to beat. Do you think you could possibly go for this again? High undulation, high elevation changes, a lot of sensitivity. The McLaren sometimes is sensitive, sometimes it isn't. What do you think that's going to put you on the grid next week?
Next week I'm entirely banking on the massive straight on the front because the yeah, should be nice though. Hopefully I'll be towards the sharp end. I don't know about another win unless the top teams don't do anything again, but you know, we move.
Well, I've said it so many times, but it's a big possibility, in quote the words of Cookie. We'll have to figure that one out. But it was definitely for points for McLaren. 1-2 to be exact for tonight. Congratulations to yourself and the team on not only the win, but the 1-2 for McLaren. Like I've said so many times, it is still not fully sinking in. I guarantee you guys will have that for a couple of days indeed. So that's myself, Hey Catcher, up in the booth once again, rounding it out for the round 2 race here at China for the Chinese Grand Prix in the Shanghai International Circuit. Be sure to tune in tomorrow to be exact, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Tier 3 circuit around the Shanghai International Circuit. But don't go anywhere after that. Tier 4 races right after it, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for their round 2 circuit at Shanghai. Tier 2 and Tier 1 race on Saturdays. If you would like to tune into that, once again, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. Tier 2 ACC races on Sunday at, I believe, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They have the 1 hour at Spa. That's going to be one race. I believe actually 2 hours at Spa. Regardless, it's going to be their Spa Francorchamps race in the Assetto Corsa Competizione discipline. Let's see how they figure that one out. For myself, Hey Catcher, in the booth, and the entire realistic tier, from Inside Report, from John, and from Cookie, we all say thank you, good night, and have a good evening.